Hello and welcome to The Last Stitch Season 2, Episode 16. We're coming back with our latest guest cast, the 1-4 team that's assaulting our hive.
What was it we called ourselves last time? Fire, flame,
I can't remember.
frags,
F3.
frags
Yeah,
and
there you
flames
go.
and something. Yeah, I
Something
don't
like
know.
that.
Flash and frag. Ooh.
It's
Something like
something. I don't know.
But the
But
important
yeah,
thing is it
sorry,
involves
Bentham.
explosions.
Sorry, Bentham, I distracted you.
No,
Oh,
it's
I
all
got it.
good.
Flash, frag, and flame.
There you go.
Mm,
There you go.
that was the one. Yeah, we got some announcements before we get to it. So today's supporter is Paul Toon. Thank you very much, Paul Toon, for supporting today's episode and helping us to do this real cool stuff. And we got some things happening on the Patreon. We got the guest character sheet for Caladri in and I said it right, Caladri in Dungeons and Dragons Ascension is out for you to check out right now. See what kind of stats they have. They're higher level than the rest of the party, as we've now learned. So you can find out what kind of cool stuff they have that we can look forward to once we've got a little bit further on. And also, the NPC names post is out now. You may have heard me announce this previously in the month that the NPC names post was out. I found out a couple days ago that for some reason it was still scheduled to release like 13 days before. Apparently, Patreon can sometimes just not post a scheduled post and then think that it's scheduled for the past, as I learned. So it didn't come out last time I announced it, but this time it actually did. So you can now submit NPC names if you want to do that. No one told me it hadn't come out. Nobody
The
said
idea
anything.
of something being scheduled for the past is
Yep.
Yeah.
definitely...
Yep, I just was like, oh, let me check the schedule. I don't think there's anything in the schedule post right now, but let me just make sure. I'm like,
Wait a second.
I'm like reading it like, did I get the year? No, that says 2021. That says June 11th, 2021, and it's not that now. Okay, it was very weird. Also, we have a new show coming up. As you may know, our run of Good Strong Hands finished up yesterday. So next Saturday we have a new show starting. It is called Knights Black Agents: The Hungry Dead, and it is GM'd by very own Wise Papa Grant. You'll be hearing more about that as we go along, but look forward to that. It's about vampires in like a sort of, is it late Cold War or post Cold War kind of?
It'll take place in 2019, just after the Bush's War. And it'll have a backdrop of almost all of Europe. Elves playing in it as well.
I am in it, yeah.
Vampires
Sounds
versus
fun.
super spies in
Well,
a
do you
Shadow
give-
War conspiracy.
You give me the option for vampires in anything, and you know I'm in. So.
We really threw people off with the project name that time. It was Project Cold because like it was a Cold War of vampires and secret agents. And nobody guessed. Actually, someone did guess Gumshoe though. Someone like accidentally stumbled upon the right system for the complete wrong reasons, which is always fun when people are guessing what the show's gonna be. So yeah, look forward to that. I'm gonna be running the tech for that. I'll be there with a front row seat. It's gonna be great. Also, of course, as you've probably worked out by now, we're sponsored by Roll20. It makes a lot of sense because we use Roll20 for literally everything we do ever. All of our shows, I think, that we've ever done have used it. Even ones where there are no dice. Like, there was one time where we played a system that just used, like, cards you draw, and we still put it in Roll20 because it's just so convenient. So, you know, that we endorse. But we're now sponsored, which means that you sometimes will get cool giveaways, which you can check out the status of by looking at our Twitter. We keep a pinned tweet about the latest giveaway gubbins, so keep an eye out for those, and you can get some D&D books. All right, that's the announcement. So let's go over how Rollfit's able to do all the cool stuff that it does. The reason we're able to do all these shows and have all these awesome people and bring this content to you on a weekly basis or multi times per week basis, like tri-weekly, which in this case means 3 times a week as opposed to once every 3 weeks. You always got to specify. The English language is a disaster, but we're able to bring you all this content because you support us on Patreon. And there's a whole bunch of different tiers that give you a whole bunch of different rewards, including but not limited to MPTs of all of our shows. After shows we record after every show, we talk about what happens in the show. We haven't actually checked the bacon preferences of this cast yet. I realize we gotta catch up on that. We gotta keep the running theme. You can also check out character sheets, enemy character sheets, and other GM plots and plans and maps and stats and all of that kind of thing. You can submit names for NPCs when the posts actually come out when I tell them to. You can watch the monthly recaps where the admins talk about the events of the previous month, how things have been going in all of our shows. And also then if you're crazy, you can support at the Legend tier or in the Data tier where you get to take part in a once monthly game GM'd by a member of the Roll For It cast. That is an off-camera thing. It's just something that you can get to be part of with some, just play a one-shot of some weird and wacky system that you've probably never encountered before. We've had more systems played like in those Legend slots than I think have been played on Roll For It as a whole. I've seen so many things I've never heard of on there. It's always cool. So yeah, if you want to explore like the full breadth of what RPGs have to offer, that's a good place to go. You can also support us in other places too. You can do the Twitch things, of course. You can drop us bits and they'll appear in the cup. You can try and fill that or empty that as you see fit. I need to make the beard one. I need to make a beard-shaped cup. I don't know how to make cups in Streamlabs. I'm going to have to work it out. Got to make it happen. You can also give us tips. They'll appear on the screen. We'll read them out at the end of the show. So thank you for being awesome and supporting the episode. And also, of course, you can subscribe on Twitch, which gives you emotes and badges. And it also gives you immediate access to the VODs, whereas normally you'd have to wait 24 hours for them to appear over on the YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, you can become a YouTube member, which gives you emotes and badges over there. And being a YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, Patreon support role, give you access to our Discord. We can hang out with us and other fans of the show and, speculate on what Project Cold could possibly be and get it completely wrong. Someone was suggesting a Frostpunk RPG, and I'm like, I'm kind of into that. Can someone make that?
Sounds interesting.
Like, we have the soundtrack. We have permission to use the Frostpunk soundtrack in our RPGs. We were already set. We'll make it happen.
Noted.
Yeah, so you can do that. You can hang out in the Discord. You can, of course, join the rearguard and make some dice rolls that will, potentially save or doom these characters. And, do some RP, getting on that. Games and all that kind of thing. There's all sorts going on in there. There's too many rooms. The rooms go off the bottom of my page, and I hate it. I need to, work out if I can get rid of any of these Discord rooms at this point. That you see, I got all the secret ones. You see, there's as many secret ones as there are non-secret ones. It's a big old mess in there.
Bentham just scrolls infinitely down a list of ever-expanding places that never close. Yeah.
Well, I do actually have
existential Discord horror.
I as a hoarder of all things, including data, I do actually have all former rooms in the Discord in hidden categories that no one except the admins can see. And occasionally I do go back. I'm like, when was this again? What show was when did we do this? Sometimes I'm like, have we used this project name before? When we're like, hey, what do we do? Project Dark. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure we've done Dark. We've done everything. We've done Dark in every that we've gone through the entire thesaurus entry for Dark. It's a problem.
Project Dark 2, darker even than the first one.
Yeah, no, I found out there's actually you can only have 50 rooms in a Discord category, and then it doesn't let you add any more. You got to make a new one. So I've got the Well and the Well 2, and they're just full of rooms. Ancient conversations long forgotten. Anyway, I'm getting very distracted. I should let people get on with this RPG we're doing today.
Never, Bentham. Keep talking about Discord.
Yeah, you can join the Discord and hear the tales of rooms long forgotten. And you can also just tell your friends and bring them along, hit the clip button when cool stuff happens in the show. For some reason, sub-only VODs can't be clipped, even by subs or the channel creator, after the stream happens. So if you clip in the moment and you're the only one, then it's your clip forever. No one else can sneak under you with their own clip. You're the one, it's yours. And we might put them in some compilations, that kind of thing. And every week I keep clipping moments, and then I don't edit it till I don't go to edit it till days later, and by then they've timed out and don't work anymore. And every single time I have so many unedited clips of this show now that I need to like go through and be like, which ones happen to cut at the right point to still work. We'll see what we can do with this. But yeah, remember to clip, and then straight after the stream, you can edit them together and make them look all nice and give them a cool title, and then we'll love them, and we might even like tweet them out or something like that. But anyway, without further ado, let's hand over to actually have the cool stuff happen that can be clipped. Let's leave it to Sheepy.
Okay. So, last week we found out that. Ooh. Easy now. So last week we found out that Saving Private Ryan lied to us. In fact, beach landings are very, very easy. Even if you are exploded out of the landing craft, fall in the water, you don't drown. You just wander out, confident, and get shot, which just bounces off you. Breaching the walls, really easy. You just throw a dead friend with a jetpack strapped to them.
Friend is a very strong term.
I feel like after they protected you from that many bullets, you kind of have to consider them a friend. It's like when they're related to you, but you don't really know them. You know, you're like, yeah. Additionally, just wandering around a hive will turn out really well. You'll avoid patrols, find a secret like little maintenance tunnel, wander through it willy-nilly, find a power.
I'm feeling a little condescended to, Sheepy. I feel like our skill had certainly took part in this.
Your skill
this
most
adventure.
definitely did take part. However, your jammy rolling and my terrible rolling also contributed heavily to the success.
Of course.
I was expecting you to be like 2 or 3 characters in by the time you were kind of like wandering confidently through the hive.
Nah, we're making it all the way up the ranks. We're gonna be.
We got promoted.
We're
So
gonna supplant Bantham's character and take over this whole regiment here.
Oh, you're gonna end up in the HQ episodes, just commander and.
Yeah. My command is flamethrower things. That's.
It's pretty good command. Well, dependent. There are instances where, especially in like trench warfare, you can't flamethrower very far. So.
True. Yeah.
We had so we did the squad destroyed a power generator which cut out power for a significant section. There was also a certain amount of exploding said generator because they couldn't figure out how to turn it off, so it was like, screw it, jetpack, boom. Which opened up the hive. You know, when a power generator explodes, it's quite a big explosion. Then you were all promoted. I believe it was Von Huss who got promoted to sergeant and put in charge of the squad. And then the other 2 characters are now Corporal Flowers and Corporal Itchingham. Which...
well earned.
I feel like it was, you know, it was just a reward for not dying. For, you know, it's like you got through the beach, you did something successfully.
Listen, lots of people did die, so you got to fill those ranks. You
It's
know,
true.
Like with
Like,
the survivors.
That's what it's like the craziness of the beach landing and everyone, you know, getting separated and then wandering into the hive and etc. It's like we need NCOs, need people to lead. You survived. You may do it again. I'll take that
we'll
bet.
see.
You were then sent to take out one of the artillery pieces, firing upon the beach, as the rest of the 1-4 and a section of the Iron Brigade were still landing. Aside from a small minor incident of blinding your own troops, it went off pretty much without a hitch.
And even then, yeah, it wasn't even too bad.
It was... Even with blind flamer firing,
It turns out that firing a heavy flamer doesn't really require your eyes. So it's fine. Yeah.
I was surprised you didn't hit your own troops. I know you did.
I kind of did.
Yeah, you set one of them on fire a little bit, but they survived. And then they died. I remember now. Yeah, they got set on fire. They were like, "Oh, patted out," and then they got shanked by one of the artillerymen. Rip. So you have been sent to by a sergeant who I don't think you ever got his name, weirdly. But you know that's kind of how war is sometimes.
I remember you mentioning his name offhandedly in some discussion, but I don't think it was in game. So yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I think it was after the after show.
He
maybe.
just wants to be fighting, but he's stuck commanding, is what I remember about him.
That's the lieutenant.
Oh, whoops, sorry, other way around.
You were well. The lieutenant's the one giving the orders. The sergeant's just relaying.
Yeah,
them to you.
that's who I was thinking of too, the lieutenant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you have received orders and a few replacement troops, the ones who got killed. And your orders are now to be to go and clear out a bunker and maybe a couple of rooms, which are holdouts. Essentially, the 1-4 have started to push through and deeper into the hive. They have a holdout on part of the line, which they need cleared out because they don't want to go around it, essentially, and maybe get attacked from behind, or you know, who knows. You currently have Corporal Hitchingham obviously has your heavy flamer. You have a runner. The rest of your troops are regular troopers. You have 10 additional troopers to the Trooper Kettering and Runner Higgs. So in total, 15, including yourselves. The sergeant will essentially, once you're ready to jump off, the sergeant will take you to, let's call it the staging area. Essentially, take you through all the winding corridors and open rooms that have already been cleared. Blast.
I feel like Jesse's conversation with Trooper Kettering during the walk to the staging area is just like, you know, while you're holding that, just like try not to get shot at, because it'll explode really bad if you do end up like getting anything, you know, like auto gunfire, and I don't want to die in a fire explosion, so I prefer to do that to other people. So just make sure you hold on to that and like don't just take cover, you know. I'll do the whole, I got a little bit of range, it's fine.
Right, you are, Corp. In basic training, they always said to us not to get shot anyway, so I've already been preparing for that job.
Yeah, it's generally not a good idea, you know, but in this case, really not a good idea.
Extra not a good idea. All right, Corp. I will do what I can.
All right, good. Wonderful, thanks.
So as you're being transported, then you're going through, the sergeant says, "So, Sergeant, do you have a good idea of what it is you'll be facing, yeah? Have you been filled in?"
Rolf just shakes his head no.
Right, so essentially what you got here is a kill zone. And he kind of makes a cross kind of sign with his fingers. In an intersection of 4 streets, there is a bunker set up, kind of facing this way. Heavy stubbers facing down the main street towards the bunkers, and then facing down the sides as well. What you basically have to do, as best you can, is clear out the bunker so that it won't be a problem for us moving forwards.
Are we going to be approaching, like, the way he's describing it is our only approach on this bunker, like, dead on?
No, so there are possibilities of taking the side roads and kind of attacking from the side. The problem is the enemy are still at the sides too. So you'd have to essentially like street fight your way through the sides, and then attacking from the sides would be. It's not quite as heavily manned the sides, but it'd be the work of like a few minutes for them to move their heavy weapons to the sides. So if you did go sides, you'd have to do a very quick assault to take advantage of it. Attacking from the rear is possible, but you would have to push through even more enemies and essentially like cut off the bunker and then try and hold out any counterattacks while also attacking.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
there's positives and negatives of each approach essentially.
I think Rolf would simply say he'll speak with his corporals about it, and we'll come up with a solution.
Good idea. Good idea. Oh, and of course, if the first assault fails and all your men die, just report back and we'll give you some more.
Yeah, Rolf nods with enthusiastically, like, yeah, no, whatever. It doesn't bother him whatsoever.
Mention the same to your corporals in case you get killed.
I kind of give you this like, of course look, like, why would I not do that? And yeah, Rolf will kind of quietly step away and make his way over to Jesse and Flowers, and really just kind of relay that information as straightforward as possible. It's like, we've got a order from above say we got a bunker to take care of. We can hit it from the front, or we'll get obliterated. Hit it from the sides, or we'll likely be less obliterated, and he'll explain like what's going on. Or we can hit it from the rear, but that also is like extra work. Thoughts?
So, my thought, Sergeant, what about tunnels? Tunnels worked the first time. Maybe there's a tunnel for this.
Rolf shrugs and he's like, genius. And he and I guess like he wouldn't go back, because I mean, does this person need to know what we're going to be doing, or does he just kind of give us the information?
Like,
yeah,
no,
exactly.
this is like essentially the sounds of battle are kind of distantly all around you. There is a massive war going on. It's like, here's your objective, go do it. Report back when you're either dead or you've completed your mission.
Oh, here's my thoughts. Ideally,
flashbangs.
well, ideally, we'd be able to punch a hole in the bunker and fill it up with, gasoline and just burn everything inside. But it's difficult to obtain a position that allows us to do that. If we can find a way to conceal a route and flank it under cover, that's probably most beneficial. But we need cover and we need concealment. Otherwise, we're just going to get the shit beat out of us. That's a technical term. It's army talk. Yeah, I think tunnels are a good idea, but we might not have access to them. Anything that provides concealment, though, or cover, I think flanking's our best bet to be most effective. But
yeah, I mean,
it might be the most difficult to achieve.
I definitely don't like our chances of running directly at a bunker filled with heavy stubbers and other relatively high caliber weaponry. Sounds like a bad time. So either way, flanking. I'm with Flowers on this one. Yeah. Either way, flanking. But like obtuse flanking where they're not going to be expecting it would be even better,
What is beyond this bunker that like they're trying to get at?
More of the Hive essentially.
Just another like just I guess a throughway.
Yeah,
for people.
Like a junction. Yeah.
The bunker itself is also quite like all they'd have to do once you've taken the bunker is take out the dead bodies, put live troops inside that are theirs, and then they can change the direction of the heavy weapons, and essentially they now have a strong point from which to push out further. Oh, and sorry, I can give you like when you are dropped off by the sergeant, you're essentially down the far end of a long kind of like, I want to say serrated, but that's not the right description. A long kind of like hallway that has essentially like little almost pillars attached to the side of the wall. If you know what I mean, I don't know what the name of them are, but like little bits you can kind of hide behind almost.
Gotcha.
Like kind of going down, and then there's two a bit further forward. There's two kind of like hallways that go to the left and the right, which obviously you'd need to explore down if you wanted
Okay.
to go
I
those
just
ways.
had another bright idea,
Oh,
Sergeant.
okay.
And that's, what if we took the air vents that were not in a passageway at all, and we crawled through and dropped down directly into the bunker with our las cutters?
Oh, I can give you a bit more information. Sorry, because this will help you here. The bunker is at the crossways, which is essentially like an open area, probably like 50 meters in each direction, like open square with a few kind of like like not smallish, but just maintenance huts and this type of thing. So the ceiling is actually really, really high, and there's no kind of like
Oh,
air.
okay.
Yeah, it's
No
it's a lot.
HVAC.
It's a lot more open
Oh.
around there.
That's a shame.
Well, I
It
guess
is-
it's
She like
we're either
peeks. She like peeks down the corridor and goes like, "Never mind."
so it's either we're gonna be going down the side halls one way or another, but we're gonna be looking for tunnels that might lead underneath along the way. I guess is like kind of what was
Sure.
like our slapdash plan then at this
Yeah,
moment.
that
Then
that sounds good.
right.
Oh, okay. Sergeant von Haas, please roll me your common law hives.
No.
It's possible there might be tunnels. The only thing you can think is there is the underhive. The problem with the underhive is if you go into the underhive, you can get lost in the underhive. It's kind of crazy down there, like much more lawless. The best strategy you could think of is essentially go down into the underhive, wander until you think you found the ceiling which comes up underneath the bunker, and cut in from there. However,
what can you explain to me the underhive a little bit? Like what kind of like what is it? Is it like crime? Just like all crime down there?
Yeah, it's essentially the underhive in any hive tends to be the place where you get gangs, you get the slums, you get the garbage, the waste, everything gets thrown down there that people don't want. Like regular.
Are they allowed
hive
out?
citizens. Sometimes it depends on the hive.
Is it like a city prison in a weird way?
Um,
Gotham City style, Arkham City style, just like
I
all the
mean,
criminals into a
it's
city and
definitely
leave them.
there's
It's
still
a little bit
definitely-
like that, yeah.
There's still definitely enforcement in an underhive.
Oh,
generally,
yeah.
like-
It's just
Okay.
it tends to be when there's enforcement, they tend to go in and kill everyone,
yeah.
and they're like, stop doing bad things, and then they go away, and everyone starts doing bad
Everybody
things again.
starts doing bad stuff.
Gotcha.
Um,
Interesting. I'm just trying to think of like what benefits they might have of other, obviously, than just trying to sneak our way under it, which I'd be game to do. Rolf thinks that's a great idea, actually.
I mean, Jesse's game is small. Any small corridor you can point a flamethrower down, she's into.
the main problem with that is you'd have to find somewhere to descend, which you don't know any places to do that currently.
True.
Out around.
Yeah, we could look around. We could try and blow a hole into it. But I don't know if that would be super valuable in any way. I'm trying to it's difficult for me to know where to go on this one simply because the underhive and flanking sound equally viable but equally is like dangerous.
I think the way it kind of shakes out, at least from what I can tell, is that flanking will be more direct, but it'll be more direct. You know what I mean?
The problem with
underhive will be a little bit more of a gamble.
Yeah, the problem with flanking will be running into resistance on the way there may sap your manpower. So by the time you actually assault, you may be, you know, lower on troops. You may have less of a
It's all right. We only
Of
need 3 of us. It's
hacking
fine.
strength.
Yeah.
The rest-
yeah.
Oh
So
my goodness. Yeah.
And it is a bit more roundabout of a way. You know, you kind of have to go round and then cut in and then cut in again. If you're to assault from the front, it's not the wrong choice. Essentially, covering fire, maybe flashbangs, going from cover to cover, getting to the point where you can do something. It's not invalid, and it's not like they're keeping a tally of how many troops you get killed.
Mhm.
If you come back with like 1 trooper left, that's fine as long as you complete your objective.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Do we have any way to smoke the approach?
I don't believe you have any smoke grenades. You have photon flash and frags.
Okay.
But you could have a little bit of a route around. There are kind of troopers on
Mm-hmm.
guard. And also just FYI, down the hallway there are a few bodies and whatnot that have been very clearly riddled with heavy weapons fire. So you get the impression that they were probably patrolling down this and then got opened up on. So in that case, Flowers, could you roll me either a commerce plus 10
Yeah, I'm skilled in that.
or a you know what? I will allow a command or a charm, or finally, if you just want to lucky dip it, sleight of hand. But the all of those are flat. The commerce will be plus 10.
I'll go with commerce because 1, I took the skill. 2, why not? With negative 1.9 additional degrees of success.
It's not a terrible roll. You know, a terrible roll would be crit fail, obviously.
Yeah.
We do have a few smoke grenades with us. But you know, smoke grenades are always useful. How about you chuck us over a couple of them lovely frag grenades? We'll just do an even swap.
You know what? I like the cut of your jib. I'm willing to sacrifice my here frag grenades for your there smoke grenades.
All right then. Well, I like the jib of your cut. Here's my smoke grenades. And you can just take off your 2 frag grenades and replace it with 2 smokes.
Cool. Yeah, because I figure whether if we're going in through the front, or if we're trying to flank, if we can at least smoke the area, it makes us harder to see. They don't know how many of us there are.
Smokes are always useful, yeah.
Do we have like, typically, we have like a laser pointer or something so we can fix a point to make it to?
I mean, for any of the approaches, it's a long hallway that suddenly opens up.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get lost unless you walk into the wall or you know.
Yeah. It's I'm a military brat IRL, and may have played 1 or 2 war games. By that I mean with my physical body. So I'm just thinking it's like if we can fix a point, maybe get some smoke. I think if we just smoke the area, that'll help.
Yeah.
Or at least deter them from gunning too many of us down.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean this is very much only war, Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
It's war. So essentially, if you decide, you can 100% send your 10 to 12 troopers in without you and just see what happens. and then go back and be like, need more troops, please. And then, depending on what happens and how.
Nah.
Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't advise it because, it's not guaranteed to succeed and you won't have your own roles to.
Let's take the flanking position and then go for it. I feel like we're in an impasse. I think we just need to like make a choice.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flowers is all on board.
So which way would you like to go, left or right? Or both? You'd have to split your forces, but
Rolf covers both of his eyes and counts to 3 before he opens his left eye and says left.
okay. Yeah, you kind of like move forward. You can see almost see in the distance. You can see like very faint light and like the possible opening at the end of the. It's quite a ways down the hall, and then hang a left, and for about maybe 100 paces, like keep heading left, and then you get to essentially a T junction pretty much, which lets you either go left or right. Obviously, you have the choice, as you will always have the choice to go wherever you want. Left would take you back to HQ, essentially, but kind of like 100 paces.
Yeah, we probably don't want to go that way.
Yeah, you don't want to, but it is a possibility.
We just lead our troops back to the lieutenant and we're like,
and we're going home.
we got a little lost.
This isn't the bunker.
Wait a second. Yeah, you run in, you like flashbang the lieutenant, like, ah!
So essentially you kind of like post up to the side. Anyone want to take a peek?
Sure, I've got eyes.
Okay. Flowers. Rock me an awareness, please, with a +10.
Cool. Flowers opens his 2 eyes as widely as he can, and negative 3.4 additional degrees of success, despite having 2 skill points.
Sometimes the rolls just don't go your way, believe me.
We've learned. I open them so wide, I see forever.
The down the hallway, as far as you can tell, it is clear.
All clear.
Alrighty then, I'll take the lead because I don't want to fire over anyone, obviously.
That is
You
fair.
have that flamethrower.
So you kind of like
I advance quickly into the open, moving towards our objective.
with a huge target on my chest,
Yeah, correct.
just painted exactly for the enemy.
Listen,
And
Flowers told me it was safe. I shouldn't trust him, but I do.
But you do for some reason.
Trooper Kettering is moving with you. So when the enemy open fire,
Go with you.
there we go.
Cannot kill me. The Emperor is on my side. I believe in our mission.
You know what? Actually,
Here in
is,
the Hive.
Jesus.
See, like I said, I believe in our mission.
Let me just. I need to see something. Okay, cool. Let's just do one more. So as you start walking down, you've gone maybe like 6 or 7 paces before you hear, "Here they come again!" and just like opening, just like las shots down the hallway,
I
like
run
pinging the
towards
wall and
the nearest cover, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I want to advance.
Side of
I want
the
to
wall.
advance forward.
You hear
Yeah.
Rolf. God damn it, Flowers.
They moved in mysterious ways, Sergeant. I'm sorry.
new
So
stealth.
how wide is this hall?
The hallway's probably about maybe 7 or 8 people wide. And then same as the other hallway, there are little probably just about, if you like really press yourself against the wall, there are little bumps like every kind of 10 meters or so that you can kind of like semi hide behind. it's possible a shot can still hit you, but it's enough cover to make you feel a little bit better about being shot at. And essentially, what you see now is maybe like 5 or 6 troopers. You're not 100% sure. If you'd like to roll a scrutiny, you can tell.
Sheepy, can I take back my previous action and instead just charge directly towards the enemy? Just like down the hall as close as I can get.
Sure.
All right,
To the
so-
protests of Kettering, who's like jangling behind you, carrying the
Listen,
tank.
he knows what has to be done. You know, like
I
he's
thought
signed
we
up-
weren't supposed to get shot.
We won't. It's fine.
It's like pinging off the walls around you, and yeah, none of them hitting you.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I want to be close enough that I can flamer them on my next round.
Okay. Yeah, you should. You can catch one of the front ones. Like, there's 2 of them behind on each side, kind of behind the thing.
I
I'm just
flamethrower
trying to
them.
think.
Sheepy, if I can.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay.
The rest of the troopers either take like a lower crouching position, kind of like on one knee, and start returning fire. A couple of them move to the sides to take advantage of the cover, and are essentially like returning fire at these guys. So I think we may as well do a little bit of initiative. They got a surprise round off. It didn't work out well for them because they bottled their willpower test to hold off for better shooting.
Take
And they were
that.
like, "Oh crap, the enemy!" They are not well trained.
Empty your las guns into the air around me.
Let me know your position for the flames. They roll a 5? Okay, sure.
Oh,
What is it, a
roll-
D10 plus
roll-
what?
It's D10 plus 3.
Yeah.
Plus your
Wherever.
agility, like 10. But
Low for me.
Okay, and let's just give the.
I died with the enemy.
See how the regular troop. Okay, they're doing pretty well. Cool. All right. So it will be the. Oh, okay. It is Flowers up first.
Yes. All right, here we go. To die would be a great adventure, men. Charge! And I want to take who I can. As far as we can and try to get into as deep and then get cover if we can.
Okay. Just kind of a charge and then against the wall.
Yep, because I
Okay.
think we got to close the gap and prepare to clear out as many as we can for the others.
Sure.
Or draw
Could-
fire.
Could you roll me a +10 command, please? You know what? +20, because it's quite inspiring just charging into the enemy.
Aye, aye.
Yeah,
I
give
figure
me-
if there's a session to go balls to the
Oh,
wall.
for both of the corporals, you should have 1 tick in command, just FYI.
Oh, nice.
I already have one.
Okay, cool.
All right, let me. Oh, come on, +20. Let's do it. Minus 2.5 additional degrees of success.
Okay. Can you also roll me an athletics, please? Again
Yes.
with +20.
I can. And athletics is my highest thing, so hopefully this goes well.
Hey, I mean, at some point you've got to get one of these.
5.1
There we
additional
go.
degrees of success.
There we go.
Okay. So yeah, you
Ah.
completely oblivious of the fact that no one's really going with you. You storm down the hallway as your fellow corporal is charging as well, kind of charging behind her.
I imagine
And-
he runs by Rolf. Rolf just kind of watches Flowers go
Yeah.
by himself, full speed.
And then throw yourself
Good
against the
Lancelot.
side. You're essentially right next to Corporal Hitchingham, just to the side, and you've taken up position behind. Let's call them pillars because I don't know what else to call them. You've taken
You know,
up.
like hallway
position.
braces, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flutter.
Like airlock door kind of frames.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I can't think of anything else. I'm gonna go with pillars for the sake of brevity. You kind of post up next to one of these pillars, and aim your rifle. There is from the position you're in, you could shoot at the closest one on your left, which would be behind another pillar a bit further forward. It's kind of an awkward shot, so it'd be a difficult one. But there's another one on the other side, which and then there's a few more a bit further away. They'd be slightly harder shots. How would you like to aim? I guess is the question now. Difficult shot on the left, shot on the right, shot straight down the center, a bit further away, slightly harder shot.
Is that for Jesse or me?
For you.
Okay. I think I'm going to take the hardest shot.
Alcove. There we go. Alcove.
Yeah.
I like wall ribs. They're delicious.
Oh yeah. The one on the right. Okay, so that will be a ballistic skill with a plus 20.
All right. Now is the time for roll 20 to give in. No, it did not go well.
Okay, so I have some good news.
Wow, 99. God damn.
To go along with the crit fail, I have some good news. Luckily, you have a las gun. And las guns only explode on a 100. Because they are reliable. So it means crit failures aren't bad unless you get a 100. So while you don't misfire essentially. While you don't hit anything, you also don't die from your own gun exploding or anything. So that's good. It's a good thing you don't have a plasma gun. When plasma guns misfire, they overheat and discharge like melting heat into your face. Because 40k has interesting gun designs.
As an
40k needs an OSHA.
As a complete random aside to that, I am literally going to tell an anecdote of plasma gun action, Sheepy. Because
Oh, yeah.
I had a command squad of Imperial Guard with 2 plasma guns in it, charged by a group of Chaos Raptors. I would have killed them, but I rolled 2 overheats on both plasmas, and they both exploded.
Oh, God.
So, like, they're like, we're gonna get them! Boom! Explodes. Whole command squad murdered by raptors. Great.
I mean, plasma gun is what you want versus Tyranids. It's a great weapon. Flamers are kind of decent, if you don't have, like, a Lehman Russ. But, yeah, no, it's...
Anyway, there's good news and bad news. The
bad news is you don't hit anything.
That's why I took the most difficult shot. So if I missed, it wasn't as embarrassing.
Yeah, it's fine.
If I died in the explosion, still not embarrassing. It fits.
Well, next up is your regular troopers. We're just going to see how they do. Question for the sergeant. Do you have any kind of... This is something you can do outside of your initiative, because essentially it's just shouting, which is what sergeants like to do. Do you have any specific orders you want to give?
I'll actually give them after I watch Flowers charge and nobody follow, I will then give them the order to follow up and support both Flowers and Jesse. But because Jesse's flaming with the flamethrower, I'm going to have them stay 10 feet back or something. Just give them a small distance behind, because I know her little partner is also carrying an extremely explosive canister. So I want them to support, but I want them to stay back. And because I'm all about explosives, he would know that. So I'm just gonna make sure they stay.
100% know that. Yes.
Yeah, and that's their command. Go support, go fire, but stay at a safe distance.
Also,
back.
I feel like that's 50% of the conversations you've had between you and Jesse is what happens when.
Oh, you don't think I'm already thinking
explodes.
when Jesse's character dies, I'm going to use her little slave as a walking suicide bomber with that thing? Like, I'm ready to use him if needed to just one giant explosion.
So essentially, let's call it casual, but you know what I mean, like casual fire in advance.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Covering fire in advance, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's.
So this will be 10.
As long as they don't roll a 100 and accidentally shoot friends. Hey, look at that! Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's actually great for them.
Okay. Let's see how these guys do under fire. Yeah, not bad.
You roll really well for our troopers. Appreciate it.
Well, these are the enemy troopers.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. In that case, let's just get a little feel of their ability to not get shot. Oh, yeah, no, not so much. All right. Via your orders. So the reason why you're not getting a command role as sergeant is you haven't asked them to do anything that isn't like extreme.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you were to order them to charge a machine gun under heavy fire, you may need a command role there. As a sergeant, you know you have the command of the squad. The corporal, in that instance, it was a bit more kind of follow me and charge down gun type thing. So that's why the command role was there, but not for you.
Nope, that's fine.
A couple of the troopers a bit further back. One of them goes down. The other one seems to take possibly multiple hits, and it essentially kind of falls to the ground, but isn't down. It's kind of like staggered, let's call it. At which point we will move to the next set of. Is it? I need to double check this.
I mean, is it Jesse's turn or Elf's turn?
It's either me or the enemy.
It is your go, yes.
All right, I plant my feet and flame the shit out of this hallway. Just a gout of flame,
Okay.
as wide as I can make it across all the cover.
You're not quite close enough to get more than one person, but you can.
Oh, never mind then. I advance and then I do that.
Well, so the you have two people on each side. You can't really cut a swath,
Wait, how wide is the hallway?
The hallway is about 7.
Because
seven-ish
the heavy
people
flamer
wide.
is described as spray, right? Is there?
Yes, but it's kind of directional spray, so
okay,
it does like, but it kind of goes out in a cone as opposed to like it wouldn't fill a hallway this size. So you know what? Roll me just in this instance. Roll me a ballistic skill with a +10.
Okay.
You'll definitely hit the one you aim at,
Sure.
left or right. But you might catch someone else a little bit further back.
1.7, baby.
Okay, yeah. All right, so the flame kind of like billows out, and maybe you put a bit more juice into it. Maybe Trooper Kettering just unleashed the valve a little bit more.
Yeah, he just turned the little valve on it.
Yeah, but the gout of flame just slides along the wall. Even further than you had, I'm not going to say intended, but that you thought it would go, and just engulfs another trooper. So let's see if the other trooper can manage to get out the way of this rut roll moment.
Apparently so.
Yeah, that's a crit. Rolled a 5. Essentially seeing the flame like boiling towards him, just kind of like slides down the wall and like singes his hair. But please roll me damage for the other one.
Let me see here. Where's my flamer? Here we go. Oh, only 6. Because I rolled a 1 again.
Yeah. It's a certain crispy ness to him. Maybe like parts of his uniform still a little bit of fur. Mostly singed his eyebrows.
Yeah, we do what we can. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see if he gets set on fire, because if he does, he'll be still in a reasonably difficult place. Oh yeah, he's you know, distracted by being set on fire. So we'll move on to the regulars. We're going to lay down some fire against yourselves.
Oh, that's a lot of good rolls right
What
there.
is with my... I rolled a 3, a 13, and
Hell
a 22.
yeah. Hell
What is
yeah.
happening? Oh my god.
But we love to see.
You still have to roll damage, Sheepy. Don't even
Oh, and you if you get hit, you still... So the first 2 shots coming in are going to the Flamer duo, because...
Of course.
Dangerous. Would you like to be 1 or 2, Elf?
I don't mind. You dealer's choice.
You can be 1.
Either way, I'm gonna dodge, Sheepy.
That's fair.
I'm gonna hit the deck. Is it just an unmodified roll, or?
Well, let's see if they...
Oh, they don't even shoot at me.
Yeah, they don't.
Your poor friend. Oh, he's got explosives.
Yeah, he does have the explosives. And, yeah, the people in range of that will be Trooper Hitchingham and Trooper Flowers. Just FYI.
I mean, if it goes up, it might
If
not.
it goes up, it goes up. Alright, let us roll a dodge.
Dodge, you jerk. Oh, no. It's not good.
Yeah,
Kettering.
the opposite of good.
That's a crit fail. I'll roll a damage.
Come on, Kettering.
Okay, let's see how this...
It's gonna ping off your armor for sure. Yeah, 6 damage. There we go.
That's not enough to penetrate the flame tang. The tang flame.
I mean, you have another shot. You know.
I do. So with the second shot...
Oh, lower damage.
Even lower. Hell yeah.
Do you know how much damage I do there? 0.
No
Oh,
damage,
nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. No pen.
shots
The
do
good thing
0.
that thing's armored, dude.
Oh lord.
Oh,
I was
hell
like,
yes.
yeah.
Praise be to flak armor.
Another shot comes in towards. Yes. Another shot comes in towards sorry, Corporal Flowers. If you'd like to roll a dodge, see if you can like ping your head away from it.
Yeah, better than taking it on the chin.
Well, I mean, you've taken shots before.
I was gonna mention when we were talking about getting shot earlier. Flowers gonna be like, "I've been shot before. It ain't that bad. What you afraid of?"
I'm Poseidon.
Any modifiers or no?
Just straight up.
Whoop. Hey, 3.8 additional degrees of success. The untouchable god Flowers grows in the sun.
With that, seeing as that's a crit success, would you essentially like to use the dodge to put yourself in a favorable position to return fire?
A tactical move.
Okay.
Untouchable god Flowers.
Essentially, what we'll say is, the shot comes a little bit to your left, so instead of dodging into cover, you actually move forward and out and sway back in. You are now in front of Corporal Jesse, and also out of the blast range, luckily, and up against another, I want to say sconce. What was it? Enclave? No.
Alcove.
Alcove, thank you. Close. You're now at the next forward alcove, and with a really nice shot on the one on your right, who is also a little bit on fire. Pat pat. The last set of shots essentially go to into the standard troopers. So let's just roll a couple of dodges for them. Oh, successful dodge. God damn. My dice are all over the place today. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, that's a... Yeah, okay. And damage. Okay. One of the troopers takes a hit or two. Doesn't seem to be like horrifically damaging, but yeah.
Imperial Guard armor is actually pretty good for small arms fire.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Imperial Guard armor is really good against Imperial Guard small arms fire
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
it's not that damaging.
Like,
Um,
like just to give people an idea, like we have 7 across the board in terms of like if you roll 7 or less, it doesn't do any damage. Like because it's 4 for every piece of armor and then 3 toughness on all of us. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you have like, do you have helmets? For me with 40k games, I'm just like all over armor, all over. Don't.
Of course, yeah. Why would you not do that, right?
Just simplify it. It makes it so much easier for combat instead of being like, oh, where do you hit the leg? How much armor do you have on your leg?
Unless you're specifically some kind of like death cult badass who's just like wearing a body glove and that's it, and you're just gonna duel people in melee. But I mean,
Yeah.
no Imperial Guard does that.
No. If they do, they're either very quickly dead or just, well, they don't really section people in.
Yeah, they don't know.
Okay, so for now we'll skip the sergeant and we'll move back up to the top of the round, which will be Corporal Flowers. You're in a good position, got a good shot. Essentially, that'll give you a bonus to hit.
I will fire when ready.
Okay, ballistic skill
Flowers.
plus 40, please.
Fuck them up.
Yeah. Yo soy Corporal Flowers! Or 1.2 additional degrees of success. The wrath of the gods is upon them.
Okay. Let's see if they can dodge it. I was gonna say, like, I've been dodging quite a lot, and I'm like, they have terrible dodge stats, so I don't know how I'm doing it. Please roll me a damage, sir.
Oh, I most certainly will.
Big numbers, big numbers.
Little numbers of 4.
Little numbers.
Smallest possible numbers.
Are you sure we're rolling d10s? Because going by our damage rolls, I think we're rolling d4s.
It definitely feels like.
Yeah, the shot kind of just pings off them, and that puts. Oh, it's the regular troops again are going to essentially move up closer for better shots. It does put a few of them in blast range if Jesse explodes. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. And they will lay down additional fire. More with the intention of just kind of blanketing, I would say suppressing, but wow, they did not roll well. Okay. The fire kind of goes all over the place. I will give these guys a bonus to see if they can resist the kind of rough fire that's being laid on them. They are also outnumbered. Okay, yeah. So Corporal Hitchingham, you're up.
Well, I mean, I think I'm gonna flamethrower some guys.
Okay.
That's usually my plan. So, this guy that Flowers has been, trying to shoot at. Let's cook his goose.
Okay, I'll say in this instance, you're not able to catch the other one who's a bit further behind.
Yeah, that's fine.
He probably like took a couple of steps backwards and just crouched down and was like, not worth it being behind cover if there's a flamer.
9 energy damage, pen 4.
See if he can dodge. No. Yeah, this time catches him fully, just flames engulf him. You're like kind of bit of a cut-off scream, and then by the time the ball of flame has cleared. There's just kind of like a flaming body that kind of collapses to the ground.
And I love weapons that have penetration penetration damage.
Pen's
So
great. Yeah, it's um so next up will be the enemy, and what they're actually going to do is the further back ones are going to lay down fire, and the ones up front, the two up front, are going to like envelop backwards. So what we're going to get is we're going to get a. That's unfortunate, dude. Oh, there we go. And then the other two will see about a little bit of shooting. Really? Really? Okay. In this instance, especially with the dodge, Sergeant Flowers, could you roll me a ballistic skill with a +10? Essentially, you've just got, let's call it like an attack of opportunity. The guy didn't move fast enough, so
Negative
A
0.9
shame, a shame.
degrees.
unfortunately the shot just kind of all right, which for the sake of we'll just have the sergeant take a shot, because we don't want him skipping his turns all the time. Wow. Oh, I roll well for Mathis, don't I?
I mean, Math has got those good stats.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. They are a bit more. I'm just rolling well today, apparently. The shot goes at the trooper who's out in the open, but he kind of like ducks away at the last second. Shot just goes rippling over his head. Jesse, you're up. And keep in mind that the ones in the front have peeled back. One's kind of still halfway in the open. The other two are kind of like laying down fire.
I think I advance. I'm again not worrying about cover. Jesse's just like standing in the middle of the hallway. And I'm gonna try and catch whoever I can with the flamer. Like,
Okay. I'll say if you want to move forward, you can actually probably catch 3 of them currently because of the failure of the athletics.
Wonderful. Let's do that.
It will, if you don't manage to kill them, then it's going to give them a pretty hefty bonus to hit.
That's fine. Here we go. Rolling the dice.
Okay.
Damage, some more damage, additional damage.
That's crits.
I mean, one of it is. Yeah, got a 15 on one of them.
Okay.
Righteous fury, baby.
So that's 15 pen 4. Oh, that really goes over the. Okay. Can you roll me a d5, please?
I sure can. 5.
5. Why would you do this to me and yourself? Okay, so the one in the middle just gets caught in the brunt of this flame. Probably ignited, set off the frag grenade, one of the frag grenades that they're carrying.
Oh no.
So I am going to need you to roll a dodge, because essentially the fireball turns into a explosion fireball, and you're a little bit close to them.
Frag's like 10 feet, right?
Yeah.
I have a 30-foot range on this flamethrower.
Oh.
Am I getting within 10 feet here?
You would need to get in.
All right, that's fine. What is it plus anything, GP, or am I just?
Would be flat, yeah.
Okay, cool.
The worst thing that could happen now.
Minus 1.6.
The worst thing that could happen now is the frag grenade explosion ignites the flame tank, which causes another explosion, and
Flowers
then
dies.
and then Flowers dies. Turns out he had a tank shell on him, which also ignites. Okay, so let's get those frag grenades. Okay. So that is 11 with pen 2.
Okay, so I take 9. Well, actually, 11 pentus, 5. So 5. I take 6 damage.
Yes.
Where's my HP at? Where are we at?
It's just to the right of your
Oh
armor.
yeah, there it is. Yep.
To bring the sergeant up to speed, elf did a lot of damage, so much that it's causing explosions.
I lit an enemy's grenade on fire with a crit, and then it exploded and hit me.
That's what we like to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which then moves on to the regulars, who at this point are just gonna charge forwards. Wait.
Wait, did Kettering have to make a roll? Did the boy get caught in the?
Oh no! In well, yes. Sorry. That would actually have to be a.
Because I know you were talking about a chain explosion, and I want to give you that opportunity.
I appreciate that.
Oh, so
I'm-
close, Kettering.
I'm gonna say it hits the explode. Like the dodge is such a small failure that I'm gonna say he has enough time to move the flame tank, so he takes the brunt of the damage. So it's possible this will just kill him, or let's have a looky-loo here. Okay, so he takes 4 damage from that. So he does, he gets some shrapnel in his back, and he's like, oh no.
Did we kill the 3 guys though? Are they dead?
Oh yeah, they hella dead.
Okay, cool.
That crit and then the 5 for the Righteous Fury was just like, no, essentially just.
It was worth it.
Yeah. So there's one more round of death. So there's 2 more left. One is getting up from being staggered by shots. The other one is trying to run backwards and is kind of in one of the alcoves. And this is the point where your troopers, they go pew pew. Wow, they cannot shoot, can they? One maybe.
He gets a promotion.
Trooper first class. Oh, and he dodges. So moving on from them, it is now Sergeant, your turn.
My turn, you said? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Can I reach anybody from here? Can I shoot somebody from here from where I'm distant? I'm a bit further back than Jesse and Flowers are.
Yeah, it'll probably just be a slightly more difficult shot, so you won't get quite as many pluses as you might would
I'll just
normally.
take a shot then. I'll just from my position. What do I take? Any pluses at this shot or no?
Yeah, this should be a +10.
Okay. No, but it wasn't a crit fail, so that's okay.
It's always good when it's not a crit fail. Yeah, just kind of like
Just like I'm peeking around a corner, popping shots, just flying by, but not hitting anything.
Then we go around back to the top of the line, which is Corporal Flowers again.
All right. I'm going to keep firing at my nemesis from this advantageous position.
Okay, that will be because you've got quite a nice position on it. You're not really firing through or past anyone. Be ballistic skill. Actually, it's out in the open. If you want to go for the one who's like still getting up from being shot down, that would be +30. No, sorry, +40.
All right. Well, let's take that guy out for 2.6 additional degrees of success as I fire with laser point accuracy with my laser gun.
For the record, I'm assuming semi-auto unless told otherwise.
Well, it's semi-auto.
Yeah. Please roll me. Oh, wait. Let's see if you can dodge. There's always a possibility that Sheepdog will roll well, apparently, in this session. Okay, no. Please roll me 2 damage rolls.
All right.
You can do it.
Cinco cinco.
Are we
Five
sure?
and
Are
five.
we sure we're not rolling d4s?
I'm positive that those are
D10s.
roll 20 hashtag sponsored bless D10s.
Okay.
Excuse me, Grant. The quantum dice pool would never be anything but purely random.
Never.
Which will move it on to Corporal Hitchingham.
Well, I'm very injured, but
Yes.
I never stop, so we advance.
Okay, just kind of like what there's kind of like blood going down your
it's all good.
forehead.
She's
You
got,
just
like, a
like
bunch of
wipe it out of the way. It's like
got
it's
a
kind of
bunch
hot
of-
in here.
bunch of shrapnel, but she's also like, sweating like crazy because of the flamethrower. Like strides through the remains of the Prometheum in front of her and like looks for the next person to melt.
Yeah. There's essentially one or the other. The one getting up has been shot a couple of times. So
I pick the other. I don't
Yeah.
know which one the other is, but I pick them and
it's a
give
good
them
choice because they're behind cover, and we all know
Town.
how flavors feel about cover.
Yeah. There we go. It's a 9 damage. Oh, they dodged. Wow.
Okay. I mean, they still obviously take some damage, but it is reduced by the jumping away out of the way of this horrific, like, just makes me think of aliens going down a kind of metallic hallway and just flaming everything. So at this point, we're gonna see how they feel about staying. Well, bad and really bad. So they're from what you could tell, what they were trying to do was essentially like a fire and retreat, kind of like keep you away from them while they move down the hallway. Unfortunately, that tactic didn't work very well for them. So now they're just running.
I would too, to be honest.
Yeah, no, me too. If you'd like, you can take some parting shots at them as they go. It'll essentially be, I would say, unless you want to run after them, hitching them, you probably won't be able to catch them with your flamer.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm probably not gonna run after them.
Yeah, that's also fair. You know, you don't want to be Han Soloed.
I mean, the great thing about a flamer is you're never Han Soloed because you just fire into the mass of people in front of you and then die. So it's fine.
That's true. That's true. But the rest, unless ordered otherwise, the rest of the troopers are just going to take some shots at the enemy.
Yep, I'm fine with them just taking shots.
Okay. Just they're too busy running to. You know what? They'd be serpentine. It's a legitimate military tactic. Okay, yeah. Unless Trooper Flowers or Sergeant Von Haas, you would like to take some shots as they're retreating. They're basically just gonna run down the hallway and disappear.
I'll take one last blap at him.
Okay. In this instance, give me a. Oh, they're reasonably far away, so let's say plus 20.
I'll take a shot as well.
You're a bit further forward, so go with plus 30.
I miss.
Wow.
Missed barely.
Yeah, they just disappear down the end of the thing, and
Yeah, you
I
better
imagine there's
run.
As I imagine there's a very quick kind of like gathering of us before we want to keep pushing, because don't we have a limited time before they start moving the cannons over toward the flank in the bunker?
yeah, it'll depend, like, if they are alerted.
They're about to be.
Possibly. So the hallway you're currently going down takes you essentially to another cut. It's almost like a square. So you cut so if they just run away, they may not go to the bunker.
Gotcha.
But very possibly, yes.
Well, how hurt are you? Is Jesse?
Like
pretty.
a 4 out of 10 left.
Is there any healing that can be done? Like, is there?
Yeah. If anyone has Medicaid,
I have
it's an
tick and
option.
Medicaid.
You could maybe essentially like patch Jesse up very slightly. It won't give much benefit, and if you fail spectacularly badly, you could do more harm than good. So
Rolf is he's a very confident man. He'll try.
Hell
you cool with this,
yeah.
Jesse?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Just like pulls out a scalpel right now.
Jesse's like, it's kind of here, and there's like big pieces of metal shrapnel.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I
stuck.
imagine Rolf is probably just going to aim for the big hunks of metal and rip them out. Any
Perfect
modifiers?
medical procedure. You know what? Take a +10 just for
Oh,
bravery.
fantastic.
Bravery's sake.
I
Hell
succeed.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Von Huss is never wrong.
I got this. Just don't scream too loud.
I used to be a doctor. Jesse, you can you essentially like the more significant pieces of shrapnel are either bandaged up or taken out and kind of like very quickly essentially just like a foam bandage, just like
Sure,
Ooh,
to
can there be
close them up.
some of the wounds? I just take the tip of it's already been used, the tip of your flamer, and just use it to cauterize it. Like I just touch the metal that's already been extremely hot from using the flame.
Oh,
And
hell
cauterize
yeah.
some of the bigger
There
wounds.
you go, yeah.
Classic military maneuver.
That's what I'm saying, just ripping out the metal and then just being like, this is gonna fucking hurt. Smells like
thank-
cooking bacon though. It's pretty delicious.
Delicious.
He thankfully didn't have a flare.
What's your bacon preference, man?
Hey, we'll get to
I like
that.
crispy.
We'll get to that in the after show. So take 1 wound back. So you'll be
Okay.
on 5 now.
Cool
Yeah.
beans.
Hey, that's something.
Ultimately, if you get hit by another frag grenade, probably won't matter because those things freaking hurt. But
Whatever. Point's a point.
After we see Jesse. I'm assuming Jesse doesn't actually scream. She's like
Nah,
been in this
she's-
for a while.
She's
Yeah.
too cool to scream.
Yeah. Bites her lip or something. But as soon as the wound's healed, I kind of slap your back as you stand up. Be like, "Are you good to keep moving? Because we're on a timer."
Oh yeah, no problem, Sergeant. No problem at all. Like,
Okay, and then you're going first, Flamer girl. I'm
all
pushing
right, I'm
forward.
out. I just down the hallway.
And I'll follow behind as we move forward. Please God, I hope that was the enemy making a roll.
Yeah.
They're just completely unaware of us arriving. We round the corner, they're just having a conversation.
So as you carry on moving down the hallway, you hear a burst of machine gun fire. That is just like it's probably about half a second, and then quiet again. And you kind of make your way down the hallway. You get to the cross section where you can go different ways. Taking the right heads you down towards the bunker. If you like, you can take a little looky-loo. You may not want to ask Flowers to do it this time, but it's up to you.
I'll make an awareness check.
Okay. +10, please.
1.5.
You see the body of what you're going to assume. It's not amazingly lit, so you're not 100% sure. Probably the body of the trooper that one of the troopers that ran away. From what you can extrapolate, one of them just wanted to get away from you and just ran straight down the hallway. The other one, not quite as scared and didn't bolt quite as disorganized, decided to go warn the bunker that you were coming around the flank. Unfortunately, they failed their spot check and they thought he was an enemy, so they just gunned him down.
Fantastic. I turn over my look over the shoulder. Bunker's that way.
Are we going?
I mean, this is gonna be a straight. We have. This is where I actually would look to Flowers. This is where your smoke grenades would come in handy.
I actually have really good skills at doing this. It's just I threw a grenade once and it
I know.
blinded us all.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna run down this hallway, we want Jesse to take the lead, like smoke grenades to get her up as far as possible with maximum penalties on their shots.
All right. Yo soy Corporal Flowers. Now, Sheepy, if you were about to say something before I lob the smoke grenade, please say it because I'm about to lob.
Okay. So currently there is you can extrapolate from machine gun fire or the heavy weapon fire, let's call it. There is at least one heavy weapon trained down this hallway. It hasn't noticed you, and you can kind of judge about where it would maybe notice you based on the position of the body. So if you'd like to start moving up, kind of like,
Yeah.
it depends on if you think they'll be alerted or not.
I'll let
Here's what
Flowers
I
make
think.
that. We'll see what Flowers does.
Here's
Maybe
what Flowers would
does-
want to do. Close the gap. And this is essentially, I would assume, Sergeant's issued a command. Here's how Flowers would approach it. And I'm going to break it down into steps. I can only do one thing at a time, though. So the first thing would be close the gap to get as close position as possible. Second would be, if I can from that position, take a tactical shot to try to snipe the gunner. The third would then be to smoke the area. So secure, smoke, then sabotage.
You're
I don't know. I was running out of
assassinate, smoke.
alliteration.
Secure smoke sabotage.
Okay.
All right.
So
I begin.
I'm ready to run. I'm just ready to run as soon
I'm
as
ready
the
to.
smoke
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this is gonna go.
goes out.
I will consider the whole squad basically stacked up and ready to move at a signal from Flowers.
Yeah.
Flowers.
This is where Flowers throws the smoke into the hallway behind us somehow.
We'll see, because I mean, if this happens again, it will be ridiculous. Flowers, please roll me a stealth with a +10.
Stealth with a +10. Gonna roll my best roll.
Don't worry too much if you fail.
5
because-
additional degrees of success. That's
Wow.
what we get.
That's what we
That's a
like to
crit
see.
success.
Ah!
that is
Unseen
a
by the
failure.
gods.
So
Chosen.
you kind of like ease out of the corner and start kind of like moving your way up. You get to the body and you're like, I can stop here and kind of smoke about halfway, or I can keep going. So far, there's been no inclination that they've even noticed you. Kind of like, the problem is like having a bunker's great, but when the entire area is powered down, there's not that much in the way of lighting.
Right.
So you've got like some kind of torch, flashlighty type things like going down, but it's kind of hard to.
I think I will risk getting even closer.
Okay. You do. Essentially, I wanted to be like, it's scary, but you crit succeeded your stealth. So essentially, you managed to push up to the point. Just sidebar: the closer you go, the easier you're gonna be to hit. But especially if you throw your smoke grenade backwards and it's not in front of you. But you get about halfway up. And you reckon from this position you can basically nail about the entrance to the room. As long as you roll decently.
All right.
If you want to push up any further, definitely another stealth roll and definitely a minus on that.
This is the best position to go from. So, smoke them if you got them.
Well, you did say you wanted to try a snipe.
Yeah, let's do that. I wanted to see if you remembered. I'm scared, but let's try a snipe.
All right. You can see a kind of gun emplacement. It's not. So the bunker isn't like just a tiny little slit with a thing. It's like a fairly open window. You can see a guy behind it. Definitely a heavy stubber. And you think like the shot isn't easy, but you've made shots before. So, this will be minus 20 because of the lack of like targets, like the amount he's in
Words,
cover.
but you made shots before are not very encouraging.
I've missed him.
With ambush and with ambush and a essentially like time to prepare the shot. It's not super far away. We'll go with plus 10 on the ballistic shot here. So plus 30 but minus 20. So plus 10 in maths.
All right, maths. Don't fail me. Boom! Success. 0.5 additional degrees.
Okay. Okay. He doesn't get a dodge roll. So please roll me a damage.
All right. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I don't want to get copyright for that Giles theme.
Oh, I love Giles' theme. Best theme.
Yeah.
Goes
Got a
with every-
mariachi cover version of it. 8 damage. I rolled above a 4.
Nice.
Rolled above a 4.
Oh my god!
Okay. So essentially, the only part of him that is really visible is the head and like kind of the top of the shoulders. So in this instance, seeing as you took your time and you aimed, he's not gonna get as much bonus on his armor, essentially. This is on the periphery of killing him. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll a toughness and essentially see if he manages to. No. Okay. Say you kind of like crouch down, peeking out from the alcove, breathe out, shot, and it just pings, like hits him like straight in the head. You're not sure if you have straight up killed him or if he's just kind of been knocked over, knocked out, something along those lines. All you can tell is he's off the machine gun. In that instance of surprise, inside the bunker, it's essentially going to be like, wait, what? And then, all hell breaks loose.
Smoke.
Ballistic skill.
Right.
Dude, throw the grenade into the slot.
I
Smoke
was
their
hoping
whole
it could.
bunker.
They're just like, no. Any modifier?
This will be straight. No, you know what? Plus 10 actually, yes, because you did get quite far up.
4.5 additional degrees of success.
Probably rolled a 3.
My lord. Do you want to get it in the bunker?
Yes.
It's a crit success. Like, why would we not put it straight in the goddamn bunker?
My god, our luck though.
Now Jesse just goes up, slides the nozzle into the little slot.
You know what? You know what? I respect that Flowers actually did something awesome rather than something bungling.
So yeah, everyone roll me initiative, please. 1d10 plus 3. Why are we all rolling high suddenly?
Holy crap.
Hell yeah, 13.
Yes.
I couldn't be readier.
Okay. If I now roll terribly for the... What the hell is going on?
What the fuck?
Okay, so it's gonna be Hitchingham, and then you know what? Yeah, and then it's gonna be the NPCs, and then it's gonna be the enemy NPCs, and then we go from there. Wow, what the hell? Just a
That's
whole load
great.
of 10s.
We can roll that on our damages, eh?
Right. That would be a lot of crits to do. With.
Okay, well, I said the first thing I was gonna do is just like run the hell up there as soon as go
Oh, yeah.
signal. So I'm running. I'm running, sheepy.
Athletics, please.
Okay,
I won't give you a plus just because you have been wounded, and
it's cool. I got 3 ranks of athletics.
Oh, okay.
2.8.
Oh yeah, just what? Yeah. So essentially, it's just like wah.
Jesse's got to be in peak condition to lug that heavy flamer around. Let me tell you.
So essentially, that gets you about halfway, around about where Flowers is, and the another round will, with a successful athletics, will essentially get to the point where you can start flame raining at the place. The good news is that your vision is pretty much clear down the entire hallway because the thing that smoked is the bunker.
Well, that's helpful.
So we'll go on to the NPCs. Sergeant Von Haas, what are your orders here? Just kind of
There's same as no, because the plan is Jesse's gonna run up and slide it in, or just like burn from
just
there.
just give him the old into the bunker vision slot flamethrower the room maneuver.
I'll actually only take I'll command most of them to stay behind Jesse, but I'm gonna command 2 of them to run up and take frags and slide them into the window.
Okay.
Guys, just basically keep pace with Jesse. Stay next to Jesse, run with her, and as she goes in, there to throw frag grenades into the open hole.
I'm assuming random.
Unless there's anybody that I know that's super fast, but we've had them for like 5 minutes, so I imagine I don't really know anybody. Unless Higgins is like extra quick, I'll make sure Higgins is one of them. But
he is a runner, but you
I just
don't know
imagine
if
he's a random schlub. So I'm gonna keep then Higgins is staying with me. Yeah, 2 randoms.
Roll me 2d10, please.
2d10.
Just to see who you pick at random, so we know
8 and
who's
6.
gonna die. All right. Oh. Okay. 2 troopers. Let's just see how the 2 standard troopers go. Okay, not terrible. Yeah, they take off. They don't make as much distance as Jesse.
Sure.
But they're well on their way to be in hucking range.
Perfect.
The others essentially just start moving up, laying down a bit of covering fire when the opportunity arises. But they're not really shooting at anything. It's more like, stick your head through that hole, you're gonna get shot.
Perfect.
Which will move us on to the enemy NPCs, which this is a surprise round, so they don't get a turn. They'll get a turn next time. Essentially, Sergeant Von Haas and Corporal Flowers, between the both of you, who would like to go next? You're completely even, so I figure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move up.
Okay.
With my troops, I'm gonna stay with them. So my turn's relatively simple and straightforward.
So move and fire, just add to the barrage. Okay.
Yep.
Flowers. Do you have any things you'd like to do?
Yes, I'd like to rain all the wrath of hell on anyone trying to get out of that bunker.
Okay.
Or launching a counter assault. It's essentially just blanket it with a fire.
You do have another smoke grenade, but it might be useful to hold on to, so one way or the other. Yeah, essentially we'll do kind of like an Overwatch, I guess. So if anyone tries to run out of the smoke, you'll basically snap to them and...
Yep.
All right, moving on to top of round. That will be... Corporal Hitchingham.
I run, sheepy. I run.
You
right
run.
on there. Here we go.
Alrighty.
3.7 on the athletics test. I just sprint my ass up towards the bunker.
It's almost like someone knows that they have to run a long way to use the flavor.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
up that athletic skill.
Just gotta get in there. Get in there.
Okay. Yes. It is an enclosed area. You have a flamer. Feel free to... there's not even dodging pot. Like, this is the thing. They can't dodge. They're in a bunker.
I torch the building.
Yeah.
I stick the nozzle of the flamer into the window and just fire in there like that one scene in
Every war movie.
in every war movie ever. Yeah. I think I'm specifically thinking of a Saving Private Ryan one, but I don't.
Yeah, it's at the beginning of the at the end of the beach landing when they
exactly.
Roll me 3 damage, please.
Okay. I love damage. 12, 8, and 7. With 10, 4 on all of them.
Yeah, no. I just needed like a general. Unless you rolled really low, none of them were surviving. So, essentially, Corporal Hitchingham with Trooper Kettering like in tow. It's a bit easier for him to run now because the ammunition has like slowly
I've only got 3 shots left before I have to full 2-turn reload this baby.
Kettering's definitely sloshing as he runs. And you just basically like smack your shoulder into the side of the bunker. At this point, you can hear like kind of panicked shouting and etc. You don't even take the time to figure out what they're saying. You just huck the heavy flavor over and just squeeze the trigger, and it just
just immolate whatever is inside the building.
This is what happens when the commander rolls really well on supplies and things like that.
I mean, a melt-a-gun was suggested as well, and I didn't take that.
I appreciate you not taking the melt, although there aren't that many
Like,
tanks. So
but shooting people with a melt-a-gun.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Definitely. So essentially, the mixture of covering fire and, well, let's face it, just clearing out the bunker with a flamer clears out the bunker. When you look inside, it looks to be about 7, 8 bodies. Ooh, heavily crispy.
Hey.
With one heavy stubber pointing out each of the ends of to the left and the right, if you're facing from where you originally started from, and then facing out towards the front where you would have come from if you went direct, there's actually 3 heavy stubbers, kind of like in a line.
Nice.
So we cleared him out. I kind of like Rolf shouts down, "Are we clear, Jesse?"
They look pretty toasty, so I think we're good. There's a bunch of equipment in here, though.
I'll turn back to Higgins and I'll bop him on the shoulder, head back and let him know mission accomplished. Oh, right.
Yeah, I guess we'll hold the position.
Sir.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess that's the plan. Send Higgins off. He'll go stomping in. Flowers, Jesse, and Huss will, with the remaining troop, just kind of bunker in. Have a few of the troops man some of the heavy guns, maybe pick off people that straggle in that are not part of our team. But yeah.
I mean, you have for the moment a bunker which points in all 4 like cardinal directions with 5 heavy stubbers. If you want, you can just swing the 3 around and put them down the other direction.
Yeah, we'll just hold the place. Good.
Mission accomplished. What can I say?
Okay.
The Jesse Flowers combo was too much for the bunker.
Ain't no thing like triple F team. Like I said, we're coming for you, Lime. We're coming for you.
Just battlefield promotions galore.
It's fine, man. We're doing a great job. The dice are in our favor.
It's been a little touch and go now and then, but just
listen. I took the first blood this game. I'm pretty happy. I'll take that first to bleed. I'll add that to my my list of feats and accomplishments here with Jesse Hitchingham, the unremarkable flamer person.
So Yeah, while the rest of the troopers kind of unhitch and reposition the heavy stubbers, and you kind of like fill out the bunker, it's not super spacey. It wasn't super spacey for the 7 or so people that were in here. For like 13, it's actually 14. It's a bit less spacey, but you know, hopefully you won't be here that long. So yeah, it's Hitchingham, Corporal Hitchingham, you probably like see to your wounds just a little bit more. With time, you don't need a roll. You can just kind of like patch up what you need to. The hand already being patched up won't give you any like wounds back or anything, but you know, just it's a good way to pass the time. Would you like anyone specific on the left, the right, and the forward guns? Just
can't think of
our
anybody.
best shooting.
Yeah.
Whoever hit a guy during that previous engagement, them. Those guys.
NPCs, not because Flowers hit someone.
I mean,
Really-
yeah,
really
it's true.
nice.
Flowers could man a gun. I mean, I'm not going to because my ballistic skill is god awful.
Mine's pretty good. I would be willing to man a gun.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind manning a gun either. I have a ballistic skill of 38, so I'll jump on a gun.
This all sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. Within about 10 minutes, Runner Higgins comes back and says, reported to HQ, sir. They say, well done. Prepare for counterattack.
We are already set up as best we can be for that, I think. So, yeah, we'll be ready to defend, I guess, against whatever they're going to throw at us.
Very well, sir. Where'd you want me?
Higgins is not. I mean, there's no guns open for him, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, you could stick him on a stubber, heavy stubber if you want. But
I'll give him just grab a gun and man the entrance to this place. Guard the door.
aye, sir.
I believe in you. Don't fuck this up, Higgins.
We'll try, sir.
I believe in you.
Okay.
If you fuck up and live, I'll kill you myself.
I was gonna say, how do you explain Flowers then? But
Listen, Flowers is a prodigy. I already explained this to you.
That's true. He's blessed.
I already explained. It doesn't make sense. The Emperor has chosen him to live.
Yeah, the Flowers is blessed by the Emperor.
So you have essentially, I want to say spotters, but you have essentially lookouts on the guns, like looking down every single place. And you're not sure if or even when a attack will come. So essentially, you know, like as long as you're not hugely highly strung and basically you know, just sitting there staring through, a little time passes. There is still the sounds of combat sometimes coming, like, the weird part about it is it comes from the corridors, from the hallways. So you can never tell how far away it is, but you can tell that it's, you know, sometimes it sounds a bit closer, a bit more intense. Sometimes it sounds like small exchanges of small arms fire, essentially. The good news is the likelihood of them having a tank and being able to bring it through small hallways is minimal. So most likely it's going to be some form of infantry attack or something.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, Von Huss would pretty much keep to himself. He'd probably inspect the bunker and what the best places to place explosives should we need to explode this place and not give it to the enemy would be. But he wouldn't rig it to explode right now because he's confident we won't lose it.
I would say just a couple of internal jetpacks will do you.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Pretty quick. Place and rip, and then just run if needed.
I'm gonna post up somewhere. I think I'm not. Actually, no. I'm gonna stay in the bunker, but I'm gonna get ready to like deal with anybody who gets close enough that the heavy stubbers are having a hard time. That's the plan. I think that's the plan.
Okay.
I was gonna say I'll go out of the bunker and like flank or something, but that seems like a dangerous proposal.
Hey, it's an option, but yeah, it's bunkers are great. Imperial Guardsmen love bunkers. It means you've got a much more stuff that can get shot instead of you. So, as time passes, anyone on lookout, please roll me an awareness.
I won't even bother. Looks like the sergeant's already got this.
Hey, I got a success.
So yeah, Sergeant Von Huss, you notice through the left hallway, like some running figures. You can't. What's this? That's pretty good success. From what you can tell, they appear to be like running out of the kind of bottom hallway and then heading right away from you. It's maybe like 5 or 6 kind of, you can't tell if they're yours or the enemies. Similarly, maybe like 5 minutes later, Corporal Flowers, you see like kind of silhouettes moving at the end of the hallway. Whatever's further through, apparently there's some activity. It's a pretty long ways down.
I won't have my men fire on them just because A, it's a long ways down, and B, they may not even know that the bunker's been taken from them. Like who, I don't know, how the communication went.
Yeah.
It was pretty quick us taking things. So if these guys are unaware that this bunker is not theirs, the more opportunity there is for them to get close without being terribly aggressive. But I mean, who knows what they actually know?
Yeah.
I don't know what Flowers does though.
Flowers would probably start suppressing them and trying to hit them from range, even if it's not a good, even if it's a hard shot. I'd rather have them on edge and with the feeling of bullets flying towards them, hot metal flying towards them, than not.
Okay. Please roll me a flat ballistic skill.
1.1 additional degrees of success.
Okay. This will be. There we are. Please roll me 2 sets of 1d4, 1d10 plus 4. The good news is
12, 13.
Ooh, nice. The good news is heavy stubbers are Ogren proof. Don't have any Ogrins here currently, but
Is that an option? Because I will for sure make one next.
there is a 12th specialist squad, which is rattlings on top of Ogrins. Like a walking sniper tower, basically.
Amazing.
Yeah, so as they kind of like skirt past, you just like aim down the heavy stubber, open up a spray, and from what you can see, once the kind of flash of the muzzle and the bullets have like pinged down the corridor, the shadowy kind of like movement has gone. You think you can see like 2 down there not moving in the hallway. And more time passes.
I lie in wait.
Yeah, we're all just kind of quietly like waiting.
I sing the songs of my forefathers.
I feel pretty, oh so,
So
pretty.
pretty.
Just like mumbling.
And gay. Pity.
And with the suspense nicely built, end for me there. I think it's time for a break.
Woo!
And oh, here he is.
That's the
There
wrong.
he is.
There we go.
Bye,
Pressed
Ben.
all the right
Oh, there
buttons.
it goes.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
I was here waiting. I was like, is he doing it? No, wait. Is he doing it now? No. And then I took a bite, and then you did it. Damn it. But we'll go to a break. We'll be back in about 8 minutes. Go do break things, grab snacks, all that kind of thing, and we'll be back shortly with the second half of the show. Hello and welcome back to The Last Ditch Season 2 Episode 16 with our 1-4 guest cast as they what is it, flash, frag and flame their way through the hive. Take it away, Sheepy.
And effectively at that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's never been a more effective deployment of explosives or fire. Or, whatever Flowers does too.
Flame, frag, and flowers.
Yeah, I was gonna say just flowers.
Flame, frag, and flowers.
Sir, the enemy brought tanks. What should we do? Deploy
Then-
flowers.
I'll tell you what.
Send flowers in.
Conventions are going to be a thing again. I'm going to make a last ditch jersey for any cast members. I'm going to put our names on the back. Eric Vulgaris will have 3 jerseys for each character, but that would be sweet. I'd rock it. Last ditch jerseys.
That'd be sick.
So we left you off waiting for a counterattack. And eventually, about half a day passes. It's hard to tell exactly how long it is. There are a few instances of like, oh, there's something there, but there's nothing there. Until ultimately, a squad of 2 or 3 squads essentially file down the main where like the main attack, the front assault would have been, the hallway, guided by what looks like probably a sergeant, maybe a lieutenant, and you are relieved of guard duty and sent back to the back lines.
Where it's safest.
Yeah. You, your troopers shoulder their weapons, leave the heavy stubbers, some more reluctantly than others, I think, and it essentially form up ready to move out.
I get it, fellas. I get it. The heavy weapons are very enticing. I know. It's just like they won't miss like one of them if we just like unattach it from the bunker and you just.
I assume you're just gonna head back to former position.
I believe so.
Yeah.
We'll head where we're directed, right? Probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
Waiting for orders up top.
So you kind of move back through the hallways, and there's actually on your way back. There's not that much in terms of signs of combat. Since you were there last, the bodies have been moved. There's some blast, damage and etc. But also the sounds of combat are more distant, and there are moments where you don't hear any at all, especially when you get back to essentially the outer ring of the hive, kind of post up where you were before, and everyone kind of gets out ration packs, and few people like pick up an extra grenade or a couple of extra las gun ammo packs, and then just settle in for some food.
Can Jesse get healed by the medic?
Yes.
Yeah, can I get some downtime? Some treatment from the medic that Flowers was like, hey, check me for wounds, and there were no wounds.
Yes, that medic. You head over to the medic, and let me just pull up the rolls. Let's see how the rear guard have been doing. Because we'll see how the Medicaid rear guard have been rolling.
Yeah, help me out, rear guard. Come on.
Do your damn jobs.
I think they've rolled reasonably
Don't
decently.
screw me.
Let's have a look here. Rear guard, Medicaid. There they are. All right. They've rolled pretty well. Luckily for you, you don't need surgery. Because they've rolled horrific on surgery. But
Good.
triage is good. So, what are you on currently? 5?
I am on 5, yes.
I think the general rule in 40k is round up. So, after a significant time, basically, tut-tutting is, oh, there appears to be some kind of, did you close this up with fire? Like cauterize?
I mean, you use what you can when you're on the battlefield there, you know? Like, I needed to stop bleeding, and that was what we had available, so...
All right. Well, I'll see what I can do to repair the damage, but, you'll probably be left with some pretty nasty scars. And essentially just, kind of patches you up, takes the bits of shrapnel that haven't been removed yet.
Yeah,
We're kind of like bandaged around.
I'm happy to count this as like she spends enough time there that's her like downtime that we have.
Yeah.
You know. So how much am I healing, Sheepy?
3.
3. Okay. Wonderful. We're back.
Enough that you may
almost
not get
full
one
health
shot.
territory. Yeah.
One of the terrifying things about being a 40k GM is the knowledge that a lot of the things you hit your players with, if they're unlucky, they're just gonna straight up die. Like,
yeah, anything above like an auto pistol is going to kill you if something bad happens. You know? Like,
especially when you crit. Oh god, crits are horrific. At least they don't allow another attack of the same like proportion like they used to. So a little bit of time after Corporal Hitchingham heads off to the Medicaid to kind of get patched up, everyone else is either chowing down or just getting some sack, because honestly, when you can sleep, you sleep. At a certain point, actually, this is a good question. Sergeant Von Huss, are you going for like some sack time, or you eat, what's the kind of like...
Yeah, I think he'd probably try to get some sleep. We just did a half a day defending a bunker, followed by, all starting from beach attack. We haven't really had time to sleep at all.
Yeah.
So all he's had is the recap that one time. So he'd probably try to get some sleep.
Yeah. Okay. How about yourself, Corporal Flowers?
I think Flowers is a little forlorn that he's the only one without a little friend. So Flowers is going to attempt to make friends.
Okay. Who
Hi,
you
I'm the
making
chosen
friends
one.
with?
Let's see.
Do it.
Let's see.
You got a choice
look
of
for
10.
Thickest boy there. One with just who is swole. He'll be my friend.
Okay.
No neck, all legs.
Yeah, I mean, there's no one who is like, Dave Batista kind of levels, but
Yeah.
there's definitely a more athletic, the most athletic.
There's
one,
a
let's
Chris
call it.
Evans. No.
Oh, yeah. With CGI.
Yeah. So that's who I want to make friends with.
Sure.
I will get them lunch.
Essentially sit down next to them with your own ration pack while they're eating theirs.
Yeah. Hey kid, want a Hershey bar? It's an Empire of the Sun reference. So
yeah, it's essentially just like sitting down next to him, and I imagine there's probably like you're not even eating, you're just kind of staring at him while he's eating.
yeah,
Which, as we all know, is the best thing to do.
best thing to do. Peer over my glasses, even.
Very, very, very comfortable situation for sure.
Yes. And it's just kind of what, and I raise my eyebrows up and down a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
there's a little bit of just kind of like eating.
Eating and just be like, oh, taking that bunker. Nothing made me feel more alive.
Yes, Corporal. It was a lot easier than I was thinking it would be.
Well, I guess that makes us best friends.
Yes, sir.
In this war, I'm going to need folks watching my back from time to time. Can I trust you to do that, Private?
I've heard that there was an incident, Corporal, with a grenade where it kind of bounced backwards and...
Lots of incidents occur in war. My job is to not keep track of incidents. That's what paperwork's for. I'm here to shoot the enemy, take bunkers, and eat these rations. Like, snap into the guinea pig pellet. Swallow. Oh.
Well, I'm pretty sure you were instrumental, sir, in taking the bunker. So...
Team effort. We got a damn fine sergeant. We got, this second corporal is, well, hell with a flamethrower.
I imagine that hell is very much what the inside of that bunker was like, sir.
Oh, absolutely. And listen, chat, I'm trying my best here. Sorry. I may get reported, but I just say, yeah, normally we land the smoke grenade in front of the bunker, help cover the approach. Instead, we blinded the enemy and then cooked them alive. Delicious bacon.
Well, it's better than having them firing down as we try and advance. It's never fun to attack a fortified heavy weapon position.
No, very dangerous. That's why I made my damnedest sure that we could approach it from a safe distance, take out their heavy weapons, and, well, make sure that y'all boys could approach as safely as possible. Safely. War is never safe.
I do know me and the lads were very thankful that we didn't have to assault the position head on. Especially after we got a look inside and we saw that there were more guns pointed down the main approach.
Yeah. I appreciate that and appreciate you, lad. And you ever need anything from Third Corporal Flowers, happy to be of service.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I must say, I am wondering, sir, do you have any idea what our next assignment will be?
Haven't a clue, but I did get ejected from a landing pod yesterday and washed ashore like a great sea beast. But I'm sure I could find out and maybe spread some rumors down the mill. Sergeant and I are, well, we're fast friends. We are tight like a snare drum. We sorry, Mathis.
We're best buds, clearly.
Clearly. Sorry, Yetcha. Flower's personal assignment: win the war. Yes.
I love it.
All right, sir. Well, if you need any help, just call for me. And I need to double check on who we have. Right. Trooper Harper. Harper H.
Harper, yeah. I get you. Around these parts, my children let me know how many HP they have left, and I've had to reteach myself how to speak because all their favorite YouTubers are from the UK. So, Yeah. So, all right, Harper, be seeing you around.
Aye, sir. Yeah. In this accent, not so many H's get said. It's all
No.
Arper and Ari and
Harper and
whatnot.
Airy. An holiday.
Uh, going on holiday. Um,
May the Holy Ghost be with you. I don't know. Sorry. I'm gonna think of H words I can say.
uh, after a little bit of time, Trooper Harper, essentially like finishes off his rations and just slumps against, was already sitting, kind of against a pack or a crate of, I don't know, it's probably ammunition or whatever. You haven't looked inside it. And just kind of slumps down. Helmet goes kind of like slightly over his head. Maybe like 5 to 10 minutes later, the sergeant comes back around doing the rounds, kind of walks over to your squad and kind of peers over at your sergeant, sees that he's asleep, and basically turns to you and says, Corporal, could you let your sergeant know at next possible convenience, vis-a-vis when he wakes up, the lieutenant would like to see him. No hurry though. No need to wake him up.
This is for Flowers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm nodding. Aye, aye.
Very good. Carry on, Corporal.
Then I'll go straight way and follow through on the command.
Are you gonna wake up your sergeant? He did say no hurry, so you know it's not.
I'm an overachiever. Nah, I'll wait. I'll relay it when he gets up.
Sarge, wake up! The war's over, Sarge.
I wish. I'll share this information though with Jesse.
Yeah. So probably I would say about 20. Yeah, given things, I'd say about 20 minutes later is when Corporal Hitchingham comes back. Much better patched up than they were before, and I'm assuming Jesse, you just kind of like post up, sit down, and start snacking on something, or
Pretty much, yeah.
maybe even just like fall asleep yourself. I don't know.
Just getting some food because nothing better after being exploded than having a meal of rations, whatever rations are available, obviously.
But yeah, like
You know,
after
get that sweet dehydrated spaghetti or whatever, and you know, just like put some water in the package, and yeah, you're good to go. You know.
Yeah, so after you've kind of actually, you know what? I really should leave this to Corporal Flowers, the overachiever. Do you let Jesse eat, or are you immediately there like, so, guess what? Sarge came round again and was like, yo, Lieutenant wants to see the sergeant.
I think knowing Flowers and having great respect for Jesse, I'd sit across and stare, not saying a word.
like mouth full. She's just like, "Hey, Flowers, what's new?"
As soon as there's an entryway, it's just like diarrhea of the mouth, just. And that's what I want for Christmas. You know, just.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, all right.
Inside the cavalcade of words, there is the information that the sergeant came around again and wanted your sergeant to report to.
You gonna wake him up then? I mean, the lieutenant's not gonna wait around all day.
I was told no hurry. And no hurry means I need to practice the virtue of patience.
I mean,
it's really hard to do that.
No hurry usually just means hurry a little bit, you know. like around
Whoa.
here.
Well, shit. Then I better go wake him up.
Sounds like a plan.
Right. I'm gonna go. Oh. Now, if you happen to have a gun and shoot me in the chest when I wake you up and I die, I don't mind. Like that's the way I want Flowers to go.
That'd be hilarious.
Never wake me when I'm sleeping. Would that be like...
No, I
Oh,
won't. I don't. I'm not that kind of guy. Who, not yet, anyway. That,
It'll be
like, wakes up.
psyops where I whisper it into your sleeping ear. And then he wants you to come see him.
I have this amazing dream and get very confused, and I, for some reason, think the lieutenant's in love with me.
Flower manifests in the sky.
I would, I imagine Flowers would wake me up, and Rolf would probably be groggy. He's a late sleeper, but he would report to the lieutenant as needed.
Okay. So yeah, do the corporals want to go with, or just?
I would follow.
Okay.
And yeah, Jesse's welcome to come along as well.
I also go, I guess.
Food in hand.
Yeah,
Never get to finish a meal.
Yeah, just
I mean, if you want to stay and babysit the troopers,
I can do that too. You know, I'll keep an eye on everybody.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, you make your way to the storage room, or whatever the hell this room used to be. Since last time you came here, there's distinctly more people with data slates and information kind of in and outing. Kind of move out the way for you once you walk in, and the lieutenant looks up and says, there's a pause for a second as he like files your face into newly promoted sergeants and corporals who I've had to enlist essentially.
Lieutenant, and I give him the cross arm salute there.
Sergeant, welcome back. I take it the assault went well.
I kind of shrug and look around me. We're alive, ain't we?
Of course. How many casualties did you take?
We only took one, right?
You took none.
Oh, okay.
No
This,
one
I just
died.
hold up the big fist. All my men survived.
Well, if an objective is taken, casualties don't matter too much, but 0 is always an impressive number. Makes me want to go out there myself.
We'd love to have you.
Maybe soon, once all of this.
I mean, our strategy is very similar to the lieutenant's strategy.
Maybe once this horrific admin is done, I'll manage to see some combat.
We'd be honored to have you by our side. You should see Jessie at work. Things melt in her presence. It's very impressive.
So give me a quick rundown of what you saw out there, and you can do this without having to rehash all the old things. But,
I'm seeing Rolf's just like nothing unsurprising, X number of soldiers. This is how we approached it. Flowers was dainty as such and never heard before he gas canned or smoke grenaded the area. And gave him the 1-2 as to how it was taken down.
impressive feat. Well, we have more work for you to be doing, but at the same time, I've been told by the major not to overtax the troops. So, head back. Have you got sack time yet?
I nod and I look over to Flowers. Just got woken up by it, and as I kind of shoulder Flowers.
Oh, well, there wasn't any hurry. You should have finished your sleep first.
My eyes narrow as I glance over to Flowers for a moment.
Hell yeah, giving bad advice.
We're welcome to hear what you want us to do now, if you'd like.
I don't have something specific yet for you now. I'm still going through the reports. I want to find something fitting of my most successful squad. But I'll tell you what. Go report to Quartermaster. Ask for some of the officers' recaf. And have that once you've woken up. Make sure everyone gets some proper sack time, because the next one probably going to be a doozy.
As I kind of salute and ready to say goodbye, Rolf simply says, "And make sure those above you hear our names, eh?"
Of course.
And I just turn and we'll
Intimidate the lieutenant.
I just want. I didn't want to try to intimidate him. I just want others to hear our names as well. I want those above, even him. Yeah, I'll go recaf and get some quartermaster recaffeination.
Yeah.
Essentially, you head over to the quartermaster. He's been prepped for your arrival, so all you have to do is mention your squad and your sergeant and rank and etc. And hands over this kind of decent crate of recaf. So recaf in the 1-4 is very much prized. Their homeworld of Flux essentially operates on caffeine addiction, which is it's yeah, they all have a fairly intense addiction, and the officers recaf is much more let's say potent.
Hell yeah, powerful. What is it? Cocaine style recap.
I was gonna say just cocaine. Is that what we're getting right now? Fantastic.
It's essentially there are probably a significant number of troopers in the 1-4 who would. Wow, I was gonna say who'd face down Tyranids, but that's a bit far. You know, there are many troopers in the 1-4 who would happily stick their tongue out at a space marine if their backs were turned. For some of the officers' recaf.
Fair enough. Fair enough. These are my kind of people, man. Yesterday I didn't get my coffee until like 6 p.m. I had the biggest headache all day long.
Oh yeah.
10 minutes after drinking my coffee, gone.
It's yeah. And then you're like,
feeling.
no, I could never stop.
No, you can't. I usually go through like personally 2 or 3 coffees a day. Large iced coffees. Just suck them down. Anyway, yes, these are my people. I'd be a 1-4. 100%. So yeah, recap. I with the big crate, I drag it out and shove it toward Jesse and Flowers, and I kind of just put my foot on it, and a reward for a job well done,
Hell
ladies and
yes,
gentlemen.
Sergeant. Hell yeah.
As I crack open the crate, I'll call over the 10 people who were part of the squad that helped us take it, and I'll just invite them to take themselves a little officers recap as a reward for not dying.
There's probably you probably all have this feeling a little bit, and you recognize it in all of the troopers. They're like super pumped to get the recap at the same time as being like, if it was a bit more of a bloody fight, maybe there'd be a bit more of this officer recap for us. We wouldn't have to share with everyone quite so much.
Yeah, if there were some more other people died along the way.
Yeah,
but
not me, but everyone else.
Yeah, of course. But Freddie, I don't know Freddie that well. Who cares? But I'm sure it and out of the 10, everybody else around them, doesn't get to try this. So hopefully it gives them a bit of a confidence boost.
Oh yeah. And essentially you wouldn't get this type of, let's call it, reward.
That's what it feels like,
yeah. It's not given just because you successfully took a bunker or something. It's like repeated successes with like good results.
Yeah,
We're just the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll enjoy the hell out of it. Enjoy some probably one of the few times Rolf is not thinking or worrying about murdering or blowing somebody up. and just enjoying this treat more or less. And
Yeah.
yeah, we'll spend time just hanging out and shooting the shit.
Sounds good.
I'm sure Flowers is like trying to chat my ear off because we're best friends, right?
We're best friends. You know, what were you dreaming about? I'll tell you about my dream.
Let me tell you all about my dream, my new good friend.
My new good friend. That's the interesting thing about dreams, like IRL. They make no sense to anyone other than you. Like, it's
Yeah.
just. So I was. And then there was daffodils.
And then
Daffodil
my
was
dad started to fly and try to shoot me with a machine gun. It was really weird.
It was strange.
I was coming out of the sea and I was Poseidon.
Yeah.
Bullets
Shit was-
just danced off my skin.
Sea was made out of butter, so all the bullets slid right off me because it was greasy. I think it was symbolic.
So are you NCOing it up, or are you just kind of like everyone recaf, officer recaf, and just kind of sitting around and drawing, as it were?
NCO meaning what? I'm sorry.
Oh, so NCOs, corporals, sergeants, etc. So like
Gotcha.
the regular troopers would like. If...
No, I'd be fine with the 10 regular troopers hanging out with us for this as like
I mean,
a morale
we're like
booster.
We're a squad now, you know.
Yeah. We
You've been
survived.
through
That was
some
probably the
shit.
hardest
We're
mission
gonna
we've done out of this.
we're gonna Gaunt's ghost this shit. You know, like
I hope not, because then the Hive is screwed.
I'm down to schlub it with the lowlies. We were just one of them one time long ago, about 4 hours ago.
Yeah,
we were
but...
just once like you.
I'm sure Rolf even conversation is like, I remember when I was one of you. One of them was probably like, yeah, that was 30 minutes ago when you stormed the beach.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
So
very close by to that time.
could I get from all three of you a command with a +10?
Not very good. Ooh, I 99 that. Wow.
Okay.
The flowers coming in clutch.
Yeah, 2.9. Woo! Jesse.
Oh my god, and then a 5
5.
from Jesse. Thank God, because I'm too busy trying to pretend that I remember when I was like them and now I'm so much better.
Yeah.
It's probably really annoying for them.
Through the course of conversation, the sergeant not included, you learn not like a super load amount. It's all kind of just talking about the good old times a couple of hours ago when you took an artillery piece and, you know, etc. etc.
Well, you know, when adrenaline is high, it's like, well, we have to recount every second of every minute of like what happened during that time because it all feels like it was so epic, even when it was like, you know, 5 minutes of action and like, yeah.
But you meet Trooper Ackley, Alcott, Ellery, Raleigh, Seeger, Flint, Gladstone, Emmett, Harper, and Woodrow. You don't need to make note of all of their names, of course. But, you know, just in case you bond with one of them later and then I kill them for a dramatic effect.
Bonding with all 10 of them.
You, especially Corporal Hitchingham, get on with the troopers pretty damn well. They're all fairly no-nonsense, and from what you can tell of them, they're not the smartest tools in the shed. So, you know, possibly why Hitchingham gets on well with them, you know.
However, unlike Hitchingham, they can't really they're not great fighters. So
listen, we just make terrible jokes that are only intelligible by us and laugh and then we're friends. That's how it works.
Yeah.
As time goes on, some of them kind of break off and get some nap time. You yourselves as NTOs can do the same. You'll be essentially kicked awake or just alerted when it's time for to carry on. So probably another half a day passes. Occasionally you hear the sound of like a fairly large explosion, or the main thing you'll notice is by the time you've kind of had your recaf and kind of settled down again, there's not really any like there's no combat noises coming from outside the hive. It seems like, as far as you can tell at least, the invasion has gone off reasonably well, and due to the fact that you haven't been overrun and kicked off the island, probably the majority of the forces are now inside the hive and fighting, you know, floor to floor, room to room, corridor to corridor, much like you've been fighting. So, we'll swing over to, after everyone's had some sleep, after everyone's had some nice recaf, for when the sergeant, man, if you guys had been doing worse in terms of like combat and everything, I feel like the appearance of this sergeant would be like, oh, this dude again. But because things have mostly gone swimmingly, it's like, oh, hey, sergeant, what have you got for us next?
Seems fine by me.
We've been fine so far. Lay it on me. What do you need done?
All right, so new orders from Lieutenant. We are currently assaulting a command post of types. Probably about 5 floors up. The unfortunate thing is it's quite heavily guarded. So Lieutenant has come up with a plan, and he's ordering that your squad execute said plan. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw bodies at the front and keep attacking it for the next 2 or 3 hours. What we'd like you to do is climb up the outside of the hive, blow a hole in the wall, and assault it from the outside.
Say no more. That sounds
like fun.
Prisoners aren't really needed. If you take any, great. If you don't, ain't no skin.
Are we taking our 10 people with us as well for this one? Or are we going just 3 of us quietly climbing? I feel like 10 people climbing might be a lot.
Well, there's quite a lot of them in there. But I leave it to the lieutenant leaves it to your discretion, Sergeant. You've been successful so far, so feel free to have a talk with your NCOs and decide what you want to do.
Sounds good. Anything else I should know?
I think you should be fine. As far as we know, there's no surprises waiting in there. It's just heavily fortified from the hallway.
Well, I appreciate it. And this seems like a mission only F3 could accomplish.
Well, good luck, Sergeant.
Rolf kind of expecting to be like, what's F3? Realizing he's not going to ask, slightly disappointed, turns back. And I'll make my way over to Jesse and Flowers. We have our next orders from on high. We are spider climbing on the outside of the hive, blowing open a hole 5 floors up and assaulting command quarters.
I mean, if we do this and we succeed, we're gonna be legends.
Rolf cackles. My thoughts exactly. Now my only question is, what do we do with the 10? Do we take them with?
I mean, they signed on just like we did.
Fair enough.
We can't just like leave them with no sergeant, no corporals. We gotta.
All right.
we bring them with.
Okay.
Gotta give them the chance for glory too, Sergeant, you know?
Yeah, and Rolf nods, kind of taken up with the excitement of it all. We'll call all 10 of them over, give them the rundown of what we plan on doing, tell them to get their weapons and kiss their loved ones goodbye, and move out.
Aye, aye,
Yeah.
sir. Do you want to take your assistant and your runner as well, or do you want to leave them here?
My runner can come for sure because he's.
Kettering, yeah, he can come too. Fuck it.
Here's the question, Hitchingham. Are you taking your heavy flamer with you?
Up the side of a building?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good.
Try.
This is good. I've got to try.
From a technical standpoint, I'll tell you, you will be penalized for rolls in regards to like athletics and etc.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll take it. I don't
Okay.
Heavily
I don't-
caffeinated. He's fine.
I can't also not if I don't bring it, what am I even gonna do? You know. So.
And imagine you roll well and are able to pull it off anyway. That'd be hilarious.
We got to
That's what
leave
I'm
you down
saying.
below, climb up, blow the whole lower rigging, and pulley you up.
Just a mobile flame turret.
I will
Will never
say
work.
the possibility of slipping and falling is there.
Oh yeah.
So
It's all good.
Plan on
If that's how I go down. It's how I go down. The flamer's part of the identity. I can't leave it behind.
Listen,
If-
we're not gonna fail. There is no failing. We're not gonna
Yeah, I
fail. This
can't
is
like
fine.
it's not possible.
Oh,
It's not possible.
You're just inviting it at this point.
flying high on wax
Yeah,
wings.
Go on, bring it. I will
Emperor
Icarus the
protects
shit out
us.
of this.
Okay, you're given the position and the position to start from, the position to
Let's do it. Let's start
head up
climbing.
from. Okay.
We get to our post and we start climbing. Grappling hooks akimbo.
So essentially, it's not really like up to the next floor. It's just like up some stairway, and then there's kind of like a little alcove outside area where you can start climbing from. Let's get a little bit more intense, shall we? Okay. So. This is gonna be interesting.
Hell yeah!
There we go. Who would like to start?
Flowers run
Alright.
straight way.
All right.
Flowers.
Flowers,
Okay.
lead the way, Flowers.
Give me an athletics, please.
Straight roll.
Straight roll.
Hey, 3.5 additional degrees of success.
Nice.
Spider Grant.
All right, what am I rolling, Chibi?
You are rolling a -20.
Minus 20. All right.
-20.
Oh my god. Wow.
0.6, baby. Hell yeah.
That is not a good target.
It's fine. It's fine. I made it.
All I'm gonna say is, if you're gonna fail your athletics roll, do it now before you've actually started climbing.
Well, I obviously can't do it now. I just succeeded, Chibi. Come on.
But we're not
True,
climbing
true,
yet.
true,
What's
true.
this for?
Oh no, this is for the climbing. I'm just saying, like, this start bit, if you fall,
Sure.
you don't fall very far.
Yeah, you'll live. You have a chance to live. I got you.
Sergeant.
Yep. Just a straight athletics, you said?
Straight athletics. Yes.
Wow, I failed. Ah!
It's not too bad.
All right. Good.
It's also not a fall. You'd have to fail worse than that for a fall.
Okay. Cool.
You'll start climbing up. Let's see how everyone else is doing. I feel like if the other troopers fail, then most likely the sergeant can pass it off as, okay, yeah, there's quite a few who failed. The sergeant could kind of pass it off as like, I'm climbing really badly, but it's because I'm helping my troops, you know, like lead by example type
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah. I'm just helping out the slowest.
So, it's essentially the worse you roll, as long as it's not too bad, and it's not, it if you repeatedly fail over and over again, it will get to the point where you like slip in, you might fall, you might die, you know, etc. What I will say is if you slip and fall past, if you do it like next floor, you might be okay. Anything past that, we're not even gonna like roll damage or anything. It's just dead.
Okay.
So takes a bit of time, and the more time you take, the more troops are going to be thrown at the front of this thing for the distraction. So, you know, it's nothing you can see, and it's nothing massively impacting you, but Bentham will be sad because he'll lose more troops. They work with somewhat finite resources. So, could I get another round of athletics, please, everyone? As we go for the second floor.
I feel like I got real lucky on the first one, and having to roll multiple after just feels mean. But we're gonna go.
5.3 additional degrees of success. A 2.
Wow!
Oh
You
no!
rolled a 1! You rolled a 1! Come on! Come on!
That's a 1, Sheepy! That is a 1!
Hey, I'm alive. I'm still going.
That is a 1. You cannot take my
flamer.
You cannot
all the
take my
way up.
flamer away from me. It is part of me.
This is my flavor. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
There aren't that many. Let's be honest. There aren't that many like it around here. Jesse uses the flamer as a jetpack and flies. So
Okay. I have a deal for you, Elf.
Okay. All right. A deal.
As we climb up, you do not need to make any more because you super crits succeeded. You can keep time with the rest of your troops. You can even, without any roll, save one person from falling.
Okay, cool.
But you have to drop your heavy flamer to save them, if it happens.
Guess they're dead.
I was like, and they're dead.
Just saying, the option's there.
All right. All right. I mean, we did get that really good supply roll, so if I lose it, I might be able to get another one. So.
Oh, that's funny.
We'll see. We'll see. It may not. It may not.
Told you. I told you were going to be able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna leave it behind. Come on.
Yeah.
What is with this rolling?
Look at our troops. We are just on this.
Listen,
we're gonna become permanent NPCs in this war.
The 15 of us are fucking elite as hell. Okay. We're Militarum Tempestus over here.
There are specialized squads that come with officers, so could be interesting. Just like a heavy weapons squad eventually, which is like a flamer, a heavy melter, and a couple of heavy bolters, something like that. Could be.
Man, if I got my hands on a heavy bolter,
Oh, God. One of the most fun things in any 40k like video game is getting your hands on a heavy bolter. It's just like or a thunder hammer. But
that's true. Yeah.
I'm not giving you guys a thunder hammer. You do enough damage with flamers and stuff.
I mean, I'll take one. I mean,
I do.
You're handing them out.
I'll give you jetpacks and stuff as well. Why not? I think I call jump packs actually, but yeah. Second floor, third floor, both cleared because that was a lot of really good rolling. At this point, you're like you can actually probably see where you're heading for. It's a lot of there's a lot of kind of like not really balconies, but little bits where you can rest, and you know, like this does take as you go through the process, it does take a good kind of probably about an hour so far. Especially like at the beginning, it was very, very rough going, but you've kind of all got into a stride at this point. So judging by the fact that you all succeeded and also that ridiculous crit one, let's take a +10 going forward for everyone.
Sweet.
I'm inspiring. I'm hauling this heavy flamer, and everybody's like, "Well, I'm not gonna be outdone by that."
All I'm thinking now is like human full flat type thing, where you're just like jumping, grabbing,
Yep.
just going up
Yeah.
as quickly as
I'm
possible.
just doing the Legend of Zelda style, like endurance, like
Yeah.
staging jumps. Yeah.
Or Shadow of the Colossus. Just-
Mm.
Yeah.
So everyone aside from Corporal Hitchingham, please roll me an athletics. Well, with a +10. Oh well.
Oh, I failed.
Let's get a little feel for how the regulars are doing. That's
We all fall down.
We're slipping a little. It's all right. Hey, all right. Not everybody. Not everybody.
yeah, there's some slipping, there's some difficulty. This floor apparently is much more kind of, there's maybe even a few like overhangs you have to like work your way around, and it takes more time.
I'm really glad I didn't have to roll again.
Hey, freaking crit one, man.
So happy.
They are so yeah. I can't believe the person with -20 got a crit one as well.
It was always fated, Sheepy.
Yeah, it's. I was saying like you guys were tempting fate. No, I was tempting fate, giving you minuses.
The key to the Roll20 dice system, and I know this because I'm very close to the Roll20, like whole deal, is you just have to be confident. Like when you're rolling that like D20 to get up, like when you're down in 5e or whatever, and you just go like, this will be a 20, and then you click it, it always works.
I did that with Bentham once, where I kept cursing him to roll really badly, and he did.
Yeah, you have to say it, not someone else. See,
Oh
that's
yeah,
the key.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yes. So eventually you get through the 4th floor and you're on the last one. Essentially, with this one, you'll be able to kind of push up, get into position, and then plan the next stages. Aside from Corporal Hitchingham, another athletics, please, +10.
Hey, okay.
Well,
There's some good
I
rolls
have a
going
feeling. No.
No.
Goodbye.
On. Okay.
No,
okay.
no.
Flowers.
Could be okay.
Ooh.
That's a crit 5. Not a great roll there. As you're going up, Corporal Flowers, you are kind of working your way around a slight kind of like bumpy overhang bit, and you're trying to decide like, do I go around it or do I just kind of go over it? It's not a massive overhang. And you're like, ah, screw it. And you kind of put your hand on the overhang and like start pulling yourself up. Whatever you're holding onto was a lot more crumbled and corroded than you were expecting. And you essentially find yourself falling backwards as that part of the hive like comes away in your hand. Luckily for you, you made a strong friend, and as you start to fall away, a hand like shoots out and grabs yours.
Harper.
Don't worry, Corporal, I got you.
The heavy ends of Harper sent from Evan. Sorry. Thank you, bless. My lack of social skills saved me.
So, essentially, that was because I rolled a crit success on my athletics.
I was ready to drop the flamer to save you.
I don't believe
I
you.
really was.
Turn and at least you won't hit the ground.
It's more painless this way.
Yeah, I'm sure lighting someone on fire is way more painless.
Well, also the movement, the air and stuff may. I'm not sure how that would work, but it may just
Yeah,
put
I
out the
don't know.
fire, so you'd fall to your death and also
I think
be singed.
promethium is a pretty sticky substance.
That's true. That's
a
true.
real problem,
But you basically get swung back over and hit the hit the side of the hive, and you're like, you know what? Screw overhangs. I'm going round, and then you like climb up and over, and you get to the point where essentially infiltrate doesn't really have, it's not really the right word for blowing a hole in the side of the wall and charging in, but let's say infiltrate for the sake of argument.
Breach,
the position
breaching.
breach, thank you. You find the position where you're supposed to breach. It's essentially like almost like a balcony, or at one point it may have been a balcony. It has some wear and tear, and it's also like kind of filled in. There are a few windows, and there was what obviously was a doorway. Appears to have been all kind of filled in at some point. Bit thinner than the actual wall itself, but also it's not a massive area. So if you were to say, for example, chuck a couple of deck packs down, you need to move away and kind of hang on to the side of the hive and then move back in. So it's, depends how you want to do this.
Well, I want to make sure Flowers gets up here safe before we
Yes.
move forward. I think that's as we get safe, we kind of look down, see the people who are still struggling to get up here, which is more than just Flowers, and wait to see how that all pans out.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, that is a point. We still need to roll for. Who wants to be responsible for a possible death?
I do.
Oh, all right, there you go.
Grant,
Correct.
a D10, please.
Hallelujah.
10 Grant. All of our soldiers fall.
I got a 3 because I'm rolling a 1d4
Oh.
insides.
Oh. Okay. So this is just to see. Everyone else has pretty much made it. Your assistants from Harper will see you to the balcony. But a set of them did do quite badly. So I'm just gonna see if they make it up here.
No.
Once you get to the balcony, you like go over everyone and do a head count. You're one person short.
Did Flowers make it?
Yes.
That's all that matters. All right, I look over the edge for the one person. Did they are they just gone?
Which name person short are we? Because I'm
Yeah,
sure
who
it's
do we
relevant to
lose?
someone. It's relevant to someone out there.
Trooper Ellery.
No,
appears to not be
Ellery.
Oh,
Hello.
Ellery, we hardly knew
remembered.
he.
F's in chat.
F's in chat for Ellery.
Chat being like, not number 3.
No, the third one.
It's always the middle child.
We could Laz cut through this thing too. No. How long would that take?
Obviously it wouldn't be as quick as like a det pack or two.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that a det pack or two would actually blast through the wall either.
Okay.
It's possible. Las cutters are the most definitive way to do it, and the only problem is it depends on the layout of the room inside, which you're not sure about. Like if for example there's someone just standing there, like, overseeing all the war and battle, and then suddenly the wall starts sparking and fizzing,
Sure.
they may be alerted to your presence.
Trying to think what other options we have here. What this is that might be too dangerous.
Let's have a look here. What would be a good role for this?
Now, what if we took the spare flamer tank and blew that up? Would that go through the wall?
I mean, if we're talking about like in terms of like fires, it probably wouldn't. Like
Okay.
it's petrol,
So we'll like turn to the other two then. It's like, well, we have two options. One's surefire, but it'll take time and likely to be noticed. The other is a coin toss, but if it works, they won't know we're coming.
I always want to take the coin toss, Sergeant. Every time.
Hands up if you have debt packs, and I just like raise my hand.
I don't.
Yeah, you're literally the only one whose hand goes up.
All right. How many debt packs can I pull before I run out? Is the question.
Set the charges, Rolf.
It
I'm
would
saying, like, if we're gonna start
depend,
setting charges, I mean, how many? I'm probably at least 3.
Additionally, if anyone would like to, like during this kind of tactical meeting, if you'd like a little extra possibilities and thoughts on kind of tactics and etc., please roll me intelligence, straight up.
I'm not even gonna roll, Sheepy. I'm not even gonna bob.
No.
0.6.
Damn, Sergeant,
Mathis gets it.
getting used to tactical and strategery and stuff, eh?
Clearly.
So just because they're alerted to you, doesn't mean they'll be prepared for you. It's essentially like a few options that flit through your mind is if you lascart the wall, they'll be ready for you, but obviously all of their defenses are pointed externally towards the hall. So they may have guns trained on you, but that doesn't mean you can't chuck a couple of flashbangs in the room and then charge in.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can't essentially lascart the wall and then chuck a couple of debt packs in the room. You know, like these type of things are reasonably viable.
Yeah, that could work too. We could just like cut a hole in the wall and wedge a debt pack into the hole and just blow it from the inside where it's going to be weaker anyway.
Yeah.
Be less likely to notice a last cut for a shorter amount of time.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
If you actually, that's a much better plan than the ones I had. Yeah, if you lascart partially into the wall,
Wedge a couple.
Yeah, or even like one would be more and this I'm going off your knowledge of explosives
Yeah, of course.
One would be much more effective and you wouldn't have to move as far away because the explosion would be kind of contained and
all right. Let's go with that then if everybody's in agreement here. Who wants to last cut?
I'll last cut. No problem.
I step back.
I break out the last cutter and I start cutting.
Hurt my eyes.
So this will be a tech use.
Flip the welding helmet down.
Who's choosing where?
What? What do you mean?
Like where you're making the cut. So you've got like a fair like section of wall.
I'll leave that up to Jesse. Jesse can make that decision wherever she wants to cut.
I pick a random spot on the wall I think looks pretty nice and I cut it.
Okay. First up, please roll me a tech use.
Okay. Flat, I'm assuming?
Yes, flat.
3.2, no problem. Easy peasy.
Okay. In that case, wow, that's quite good. Please roll me a D2.
Sure. 2.
So probably the best way to do this. Does the last cutter has damage, I believe, right?
Yes. Hang on. I think it's in here. Oh, it's not, isn't it? No, it's not. It's not actually on here.
Yeah, it's only in our gear at the very
It's
bottom.
in our gear,
but it doesn't say anything.
Okay.
yeah.
That's fine. Let's go with yeah, I was gonna say 4d10. Let's go with 4d10, please.
Okie doke.
This is just to discern the speed
24.
of. Holy crap! Okay.
damn.
And
I rolled a 1 and a 10 in that bunch of d10s.
Above average.
and another set of 4d10, please.
30.
Wow.
Okay, I just wanted to see how quickly
Yeah.
2 10s in
this
that
went
one.
through.
Done.
It essentially, the number of crits there is quite excessive, and
Listen, when we bring the noise, we bring the noise.
as you go, you're not 100% sure like how thick the wall is, but you cut like a decent kind of, you carve a decent chunk out of it with the las cutter, and it's ready to go.
All right, I step back and I make space
Yep.
for our explosives expert, Sergeant.
Rolf comes up, taking a jet pack out of his pack, probably plugging away a couple of keys in there. You hear some beeping with some red and green wires around it. You just see him very forcefully just shove it right into there and pat it a couple times. Turn around and like, we got 10 seconds.
Okay.
I go over the edge and I just
We
start
take-
Oh, yeah, yeah.
hang off the edge.
We take cover, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we got to climb over the edge and like hang and hide.
Yeah, everyone will essentially take cover.
Perfect.
And just for before the explosion happens, what would have been your essential orders, just so I know for the NPCs?
As soon as the wall's blown, I want to toss a flash in there, and then once the flash goes off, just go in and no survivors. Just shoot whatever
Shoot
moves.
to kill? Okay.
Shoot to kill. Nothing lives.
Sounds good.
I imagine it's just for me. It's just like, well, let's see what happens when Jesse goes in there, and then we'll move forward after that. Because once the flamer starts going, we operate around where the flames are happening.
All right. So everyone takes cover. Explosion. Just as a sidebar, because you'll never find this out because of the freaking explosion. The point where you cut Jesse, you killed someone.
Awesome.
Get him.
I rolled to see because there's a couple of people like along the walls in the thing. So we did like a random selection thing, and then yeah.
I love
Goodbye.
But then the explosion happens, so they'd have died anyway. It's
Hell
just quite
yeah.
funny.
But the idea of murdering someone through
All right.
the wall with the las cutter is nice.
Flowers, this is your redemption chance. I want you to flashbang the room.
All right. I'll do that.
I believe in you.
Well, at least one of us does.
You sniper through that smoke grenade and you rebuilt Rolf's confidence here.
Okay. It's flash time. One of the Fs.
I believe.
All right. Any modifiers or flat?
That will be... It's not a horrifically difficult throw, and it is contained inside, so I will say that is plus 20 ballistic skill.
All right. No, I failed.
But you didn't fail critically, so thank
Yeah.
God.
Roll me
0.9 below.
roll me a d10, please.
Two.
Okay. 40k scatter rules are so weird. It goes further than you intended,
Hey, it's
But-
great.
in the direction you intended.
That's even better. Wow,
Strongest
Flowers.
arm, all the charm. You got it.
Congratulations.
So
would-
you,
Go ahead.
yeah, you kind of throw it, and you're like, oh, I've as you're throwing it, you're like, oh, this is gonna go horribly wrong, and it just goes pretty much just slightly to the side of where you wanted it to go, and a lot further than you wanted it to go. But it's still in the room. It's still contained.
Right.
Perfect.
It's still dark inside because the
Corn
power's
fed.
still off. And the flash goes off. And essentially, as the flash goes off, I'm assuming, Sergeant, you would just want to be like, go, go, go.
Yeah, I wanna follow up and lob a frag grenade in there and then be like, go, go, go.
Okay.
If that's cool with you.
Yeah. Any specific like, I guess you can't really look. If the
Yeah,
flash
I
is going off.
imagine Rolf doesn't even really have like time to assess, just knows room of bad people, frag grenade, hopefully it does some damage, just so I'm just
Okay.
gonna lob one of my two.
In that case, let's go for a D5 just for general area of where the frag grenade will go.
4.
Okay.
Damage time.
Damage time, please.
All right, so I'm gonna click on what do I click on to do damage with this thing? Here it is, a damage.
Yeah. Okay. Please roll me another.
Okay.
And
So do
another.
it one more time. Yeah, okay. right.
and another, please.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm fine with that. Oh my god, nice. 2 10s. I got...
Oh my god. Oh my god. And one more, please.
Are we setting up like a chain reaction
yeah.
happening right now?
Could you also roll me a
Alrighty.
D5?
Yes. I don't even know what happened, but 5.
A 5.
I don't know
Can you roll me another D5, please?
5 again.
Another 5.
I don't know what's happening.
I need to look at the rules for a second.
Throw grenades. What do we hear? Boom, 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 boom.
That right there, that's what you call it. Screwing with the plan in a massive dice rolling fashion.
To fill the time, I'd like to play the F3 Flash, Frag, and Flame infomercial. Do you have a hive that needs breaching? Do you need to kill every last motherfucker that is holding out like a rebel against the might of the Emperor? If so, dial 1-800-F3-40K. I don't know, I'm improvising.
Oh
it
no!
works.
Like,
It
please
And then
do.
Listen,
We're,
whoever survives,
Please
they then have to deal with a flame.
Yeah, I
so.
mean, I haven't even flamered anything. yeah.
Looking to sign up? Want to live off a diet of recaf and shame? Well, join the F3, the few, the proud.
The only person who's died in our squad is the guy who slipped climbing.
We're the goddamn special forces, but we make a hell of a lot more mess.
Could you please roll me
Yes.
3d10?
3d10, sure.
Soon our company lieutenant or whatever is gonna be like, we heard about some elite badass aliens that
I rolled a 10, a 7, and a 2.
Can you also roll me 4 different sets of 1d10 plus 5?
the few and the fucking mental.
How many sets of this?
3 more.
Oh boy.
Fucking go, dude.
There you go.
Okay.
Man, I rolled 2 9s. Everything else was that was pretty damn good.
Okay, just for my own satisfaction on this one, could you please roll me 1 more d10?
Plus 5 or flat?
Just flat.
4.
Okay. Okay.
We win. we won this fight. What happened?
Sure, Sheepy's still figuring it out.
Oh my god, their willpower roll, whoever's willpower roll was pretty cool. Oh my god.
It's like the Tempestus Scion, but on shittier budget with no discipline or training.
What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means.
Okay, so you won't see this. But I'm gonna tell you what happens because honestly, Mathis, dude, the fuck.
I don't know what I did. I just threw a grenade.
So the grenade flies in, lands at the feet of a couple of a cluster of troopers who are basically like essentially at the corner side of the room. Like the room's quite big, and it is a command center of sorts. These troopers these soldiers are just essentially basic troopers. You know what? No, one sec. You don't deserve this dramatic music for what is. I'm putting sad music on because I'm
Sad.
so. It's sad for me, dude.
It's incredibly sad.
And what basically happens is the explosion is so powerful, it rips through the ammunition and grenades and basically everything of these 5 troopers, killing them all instantly, aside from one, who is subsequently killed by the ensuing explosion of their weapons, ammunition, grenades. Just like I think they had like gunpowder in their bones that it, like ignited and exploded. Which, given the location where you threw the grenade, is right next to a few consoles and electrical equipment, which means those also catch and explode, which spreads to about half of the basically like the right side of the room.
Fantastic.
Causing possibly the most disgusting, like, has anyone here played Viscera Cleanup?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that. Which, so you throw the grenade, the explosion. I'm gonna say and take a guess and say that you pause for a second just to make sure there's no more explosions before you go in.
What ends up happening on the outside, because we can't see it, is all smoke, flashbang. I hear all these explosions, and you see Rolf double check, and he checks his det packs to make sure he didn't accidentally huck a det pack in there. And he didn't huck a det pack, shrugs, and then looks to Jesse, because now we don't know who lived through that, and I'm sure Jesse's eager to.
Jesse just like steps into like whatever mess there is, and just like flamethrowers the area in case. You know what I mean? Just like a Prometheum sweep through the already like completely fucked up innards of this room.
Well, I will tell you, after the like pause before, you know, there's like a second or two, and then you hear, "We surrender." just like floats. You can totally like step in and just flamethrow the fucking room if you'd like to.
Actually, the sergeant said no survivors, right? So
I did say
the sergeant did say no survivors.
I hear "we surrender" and I flamethrower whoever said "we surrender."
Flower shouts, "We know."
So essentially, the sergeant throws a grenade in, explosion. It's a horrific mess in there. There's a pause where everyone's kind of looking at each other like, that was a larger explosion than we expected. And then you hear "we surrender" coming out from the hole, and Corporal Jessie hitches her heavy flamethrower. You see her like disappear as she walks inside, and you just hear
Rolf was grinning.
The lieutenant did say that prisoners were optional, so
The lieutenant did say that prisoners are optional.
After hearing probably some muted screams very briefly as they get flamed, Rolf will, like I said, you see a little smirk, and then he'll step into the smoke as well and like just see what the fuck happened in this room.
Stock footage, Command and Conquer death screens.
Yeah, I probably looked out to Runner Higgins, like, "Higgins, it's secured. Let him know."
Does Higgins have to rappel back down?
Well, I'm assuming Higgins can go through the front door where the initial firefighting was happening.
True, yeah.
And now he can just go through our own men that are no longer firing into the area, who are probably like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, so a little bit of extra information. They had emplacements, and they were kind of tossing explosives out the door. Those were destroyed by the explosion because they were on that section of the room, which was what the additional rolling was. Yeah. So Runner Higgins essentially walks to the door. There's like been a lull in firing by the There's been a lull in firing out of the door and into the door. Everyone heard the explosion. Says, "Hello?" And you hear like this kind of muffled like. He's like, "No, everyone who was a rebel in here is now dead. I'm Runner Higgins, and I'm part of the F3 squad. We were sent up here by Lieutenant to take over the room, and aside from maybe slipping on what I can only describe as viscera, the room is mostly clear. Says, all right, I'm coming out. I have to go and report to Lieutenant.
Good
And
job, Higgins.
like slips out and.
You hear no gunfire, right? No screams of Higgins in the distance. All right,
No gunfire.
No,
just intently
Higgins.
listening. Oh no! Oh. And he's dead. Again, what we always do then, I instruct whoever's left, like of the 10, to secure the area, man the guns, whatever's left.
There
of
aren't
the-
any guns left. I'm telling
Yeah,
you
we
that
just-
right now.
Secure the area, I guess, but I feel like, we're in a good spot.
Just
Yeah.
hold, you know?
And the door opens a bit, and a soldier of some type pokes his head in and says, "Is everything clear in here then?"
And then some, as I kind of gesture to the mess.
All right. And he kind of like steps in, and I'm you know what? I feel like you will be riding a fairly high, so in this instance, just roll me a scrutiny, please.
Sure.
Is that all of us or just the sergeant?
All of you,
I
yeah.
would say hopefully all of them. I'm terrible at scrutiny.
I was gonna say, I mean, so
Do I get
so-
any modifiers?
So
2.1
am I.
additional degrees of success.
I don't notice anything.
I also don't notice anything.
I noticed
Um,
things for the first time in my life.
Well, you notice the major stepping in and like looking around. The other two, you probably clock some form of officer or something, but it's
Yeah, I probably am picking up a charred, dismembered limb,
Yeah.
holding up to
Yeah.
Jesse and be like, "Who do you think got him? You or me?"
I'll call it out. Major on deck.
Oh, well, that'll immediately they'll drop it. It'll kind of hit the gun with the scorch. I'll
So
turn
much
and
for RP.
immediately salute.
Thank you very much, Corporal, Sergeant, everyone else. I appreciate you risking life and limb here to take this position. It was the last holdout on the outside. Now we're gonna have to move in, start taking out more. What squad was it you said?
No,
She, like
if you-
elbows the sergeant.
yeah, I'm like, huh? Oh, we're F3,
F3.
frag, flame, flowers. I just pointed into flowers.
Alright, well, I'll go have a talk with Lieutenant King and see what he says. But I want you to head back down and wait on my call for now.
There's a genuine look of like pride in Rolf's face.
You, Sergeant, and Corporals, what are your names?
Sergeant Rolf von Huss.
Sergeant.
Corporal Jesse Hitchingham, sir.
Corporal Ebenezer Flowers.
Right. Well, I am Major Ainsley Satone, and the next time we talk, I imagine we'll have a lot to talk about. Now, I'll get my boys in here and go through the wreckage. You go take a breather, and I'll see you soon.
As he wraps up, Rolf turns to the other two. You hear that? We're answering up to higher powers now.
It's always
Biting
good.
my tongue to avoid heresy. We are the higher powers.
And you're dead.
Yeah, struck down. My heart stops.
Yeah, with confidence in his step and pride on his face, Rolf would make his way back down.
As you're walking down, kind of a like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like you might walk in lockstep, like kind of marching as opposed to just kind of wandering. Just situation given, it's like, yeah, that's right. We're the heroes.
We're
Big
unstoppable.
Damn heroes.
We have not been able to be stopped for near 2 days now.
The rolls
So, yeah.
have just been
Great,
ridiculous.
fantastic for us. Yeah, there wouldn't be much coming out of Ralph's mouth. He's not one to instigate conversation immediately, but there's a lot to be said on his face.
Jesse seems satisfied with the overall completion of the mission and is like, like further every time we succeeded something stupid, ridiculous, it further increases that like we are invincible. The Emperor has to create it like vibe that she has.
It really does. I think Rolf is feeling very similarly. He thinks for a couple times, I think probably thought the lieutenant was seeing if he could get them killed, but he just couldn't do it. And now we're just heroes.
Flower's head.
With horrible stomach problems today. I apologize. I'll be back.
You're good.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, Flowers is at the point where he's like, not even the sea itself could drown me. I paid my dues time after time. And we are the champions. I want the whole squad to join in because that's our theme song now.
Oh, okay.
Hello, dog. Sorry, my dog came in. He's like, someone's singing in here? Can you stop, please? I want a nap. Come here.
So on your way down, I think probably Corporal Hitchingham, one of the troopers. What was your command roll like? I think it was reasonably good, wasn't it?
It was like 3.5 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, so you'd know this is actually Trooper Seeger. Says,
Okay.
Corporal, what do you think happened to Trooper Ellery?
I mean, probably fell off the building. It's a long way down. I wouldn't be expecting to see Trooper Ellery again. But to be honest, one in all of that, pretty good.
I was expecting more people to die. I must say, I feel quite lucky to be a part of this squad, Corporal.
Oh, I'm happy to hear it, Trooper. I'm also blessed to have these companions for this, to be assigned to this particular squad in this particular moment in time.
Do you think we're gonna keep getting set up with missions that are impossibly difficult, but we managed to?
She puts her arm around his shoulder and gives him the shoulder pat move and says, "Don't worry, Trooper. Nothing we can't handle. Am I right? That went easy."
Plus, I'm gonna give a plus 30 on this command just purely because of all the ridiculous shit you guys have done. It's like it's hard to argue with it when the evidence is right there.
2.3.
Hi, Corporal. And if we ever do have to go out, at least we go out as the badasses in the whole of the 1-4.
See, that's what I'm saying, Trooper. No death is a bad death if you do it facing insurmountable odds and an enemy that you can't possibly defeat.
I must say, I do feel like we put the combat in combat engineers.
She laughs a reply to the joke and gives him a sort of elbow nudge and it's like, leave the engineering to someone else.
Well, maybe every now and then it wouldn't be terrible to dig a trench or something, but maybe on our downtime.
I mean, in a hive, it's gonna be tough, metal floors and all, unless you want a las cutter a trench, but that's a whole another thing.
Well, I will say there was some tactical torque earlier of tunnels, like digging tunnels.
It might have worked for the bunker, but it's a little Well, ceiling was a little high, you know.
And the floor was a little bit metal.
Well, you know, they'd see the last cutter from the bottom, I think. Better just run up and torch them.
Do you think we might get some more of that officer's recap?
Oh, I don't know, Trooper. That's up to the sergeant. Sergeant's the one talks to, like, you know, the high-ups. I'm just here to provide promethium where it is needed, you know?
Would if we were given more like better equipment, would you part from your flamer, or would it be just like?
I mean, that really depends what I can get my hands on, doesn't it? I mean, there's all sorts of good options out there, but they leave them to the, you know, the Tempestus and the, you know, Schola Progenitum folks and the whatever else. They don't spare much thought for the 1-4. So I take the best thing I can get. Heavy weapons. That's the key.
Well, I will say it is very nice to have an heavy weapon in the squad. I've fought before in squads which were you know, a bit more bereft, and well, all I'll say is it came in a lot of handy having heavy weapons on Draco Mal.
I mean, any trick you got's a good trick, right? Anything to provide a little bit of an edge. The sergeant, he's got the dead packs, you know, like locked and loaded, and they work out great. Flowers has like this crazy, I don't know, luck, I guess.
Well, I don't know Corporal Flowers too well. I assumed he was a specialist like yourself, except for just the sniper.
He shoots pretty good, that's for sure.
Which is funny, because the 1-4 don't have very many snipers. It ain't something we're, you know, something we're known for. That's more of the 12th.
She shrugs and she's like, eh.
I don't think Jesse's had, like, any interactions with the 12th, to be honest. So it's like,
sure thing, buddy.
Well, one of the funny things is quite a few of these troopers are veterans from the previous campaign, Draco Mal. So they
they already been through this one time.
Well, they've seen combat with like Tyranids and stuff. In general, the 1-4 were a lot more defensive and trench digging on the Draco Mal campaign. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Us too. We just dug a trench in that wall and then exploded everyone. You know.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
Very defensive.
The 1-4 wouldn't know what to do without us. To be real.
Yeah.
You didn't even like churn up that many of the allied troops in casualties because
Nope.
you
I
did
feel
it
like we blasted
quickly.
through these faster than you were expecting us to.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is really what.
That's like the subtitle for this cast.
We're either going in and dying fast or killing fast. One.
Yeah,
or
no guts,
the
no
other.
glory, basically.
But now, like the major's ready to give us something big. So I feel like next episode is the final one with us.
Mhm.
So I feel like next episode we might lose one or two people.
Yeah, we're definitely.
We made it up to
cruising.
major giving us jobs. They're not going to give us
Yeah.
anything. They're not going to give us anything soft.
So, okay, here's a question for you, because if you'd like to try a different section of the campaign, and different regiments as well, next week we can jump into something else. You know, there's
Because I guess we took out a command center just now, right? Like, what else is there, right?
essentially the same thing will happen. I'm just curious as to your preferences for next session.
I mean, I think if we're gonna ride these characters all the way to hell. You know.
I mean, yeah, if you
Let's do it. Let's ride our characters out.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Send us into the heart of the hive.
Yeah,
Let's go.
give us the absolute worst shit we can.
Give me an
possibly-
opportunity
Yeah,
for more war crimes.
yeah. Yeah.
All right. So you head back to beach episode. God damn it. Yeah, next episode is just all of you on the beach after while everyone else is like charging it. It's like
Sipping margaritas.
Hot Springs episode.
playing volleyball. The big muscly character walks over and kicks over your sandcastle, and then you challenge each
No.
other to surfing contest.
Harper, no.
Oh god, it would have been Harper, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But no, you head back, and once you get back, the sergeant, who I don't believe you've ever forgotten his name, but the sergeant, after a little bit of time, kind of in your general relaxation area, walks up and salutes you, and says, if you want, sir, there is a section provided for you now. It's down the hall here a little ways, as bunks, well, makeshift bunks and a couple of tables and whatnot.
Nice.
We got our own private quarters.
Hell yeah.
Quarters for about probably about 50 or so people, but I'm sure you'll make do.
It's more private than before.
50 or so? 50's a lot. We have like 15 guys.
14 technically.
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
one
Oh,
slip to
deep
his
cut.
death. That's fine though. I'm down to get some more rest and relaxation.
Okay.
For sure, because I'm not sure how much more we're gonna be doing here. So
Yeah. So you head in. It's essentially just like a room where there have been the equivalent of like mattress or like a bench or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
all these random pieces that you can lie on and technically sleep on. It's all fine. After like I would say maybe 4 hours or so you can get some nap time in, get some food in, etc. You're actually visited by the lieutenant.
good to see you, Lieutenant.
Thank you very much. It's I'm not gonna lie, you did good. I was expecting many more casualties, but needs must. And I thought that if anyone was gonna survive, it would be you. So, Major Sutton told me that he met you lot up in the command room.
He did.
Apparently you impressed him.
We have a reputation, I guess. Yeah.
Well, he has decided that you will be forming a new special unit.
Rolf smiles widely.
Tasked with breaching, clearing.
Our specialty.
That's good. That's good. So, as per the command, and as dictates by the situation, I hereby, through the Major Sutton himself, promote you to lieutenant.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Those all
Yeah.
around.
Hell yeah.
Getting
Fantastic.
your commission here, like, you know.
If you don't die, maybe you'll be promoted again someday.
Lieutenant Von Huss has a ring to it.
I'm looking forward to Captain King myself, but we'll see how that goes. You'll need a staff sergeant and a couple of sergeants. Have a think.
I don't even. Rolf doesn't even think. Points to Jesse, staff sergeant. Points to Flowers, sergeant. If we need
And-
another sergeant, I point to Higgins.
Okay.
I don't know how many sergeants he wants, but Higgins, he's a named man. He's hanging around.
Sweet. Staff sergeant. Nice.
The remainder of your troops and your equipment will arrive in the morning, and you'll be given a mission.
We are eagerly anticipating our next mission.
And he looks around at the room and says, I think there should just about be space for them all.
Ooh, we're gonna have a hell of a little army under our belt.
Love it. Love it.
Again, Rolf's smile gets as big as he can get it, and he's just like, he's just dreaming to himself, I always knew I'd be here one day.
And as you are kicking about, chatting between each other, multiple like Harper, Kettering, Higgins all salute you, call you lieutenant, staff sergeant, you know, etc., etc. They're making a big deal out of this.
Yeah. I mean, they're the core team. Whoever comes in next is not as important. You know?
Exactly.
They probably won't even be named because there's a lot of people to name if I was going to name.
Yeah. Now the core 14, it's all we need.
Rip Ellery, man, like
They tried their best. They weren't made to climb walls.
No. Yeah, I think let's wind down here with
Perfect timing.
Oh, as there's one more thing. As the lieutenant's leaving, he turns around and says, "Oh, Lieutenant,
Yeah. Yes, Lieutenant.
how much do you know about the Underhive?"
You want me to make a roll?
Yeah.
Ready. Do I get a bonus or just flat highs roll?
Just flat.
2.3.
Yeah, you have a basic knowledge of what's down in the Underhive.
I'll give them what we talked about last time then, like criminals. That's all I know.
Mutants, heretics.
Oh, classic. Yeah.
All right, well, keep that in mind. I have a feeling that's where you might be going.
All right. Again, that's exciting. And as he leaves, he turns to the others and just. Do we have more officer recaf?
Oh yeah. Those.
I grab more recaf. Kind of cheers with my friends here. And on to the next.
Delicious recap.
Good stuff. You couldn't kill us today. Sorry, Sheepy.
Oh god damn, yeah. No,
Maybe next time. Maybe next week.
Hey,
Bentham, are you there?
Bentham.
I'm here.
Are you proud of them, Bentham?
They're nailing it. They're winning. That's all I wanted. I'm like, listen, take 10,000 men and take that hive. Don't come back till you've done it. And they're doing it, so I'm happy.
You only needed 3.
Yeah, you only have 3.
1,000 was a little much.
That's why you send 10,000, so to increase the chance that somewhere in there is the 3 that will win it. All right, we're gonna go do an after show. Before then, though, I'll go through the announcements, and you can see where you can find people. So today's supporter was Paul Toon. Thank you very much, Paul Toon, for supporting today's episode. We have the Ascension guest character sheet out for Caladri from our Thursday campaign. We have the NPC names post is out for reals this time, after the weird shenanigans previously. And also, next Saturday, you can catch our new show, Knights Black Agents, The Hungry Dead, GM'd by our own Wise Papa Grant. And of course, it's sponsored by Roll20. You can check out our Twitter for giveaway information, all that kind of thing. And in about 4 minutes' time, the finale of yesterday's finale of our show, Good Strong Hands Are Cracking the World, will be out on the YouTube for you to check out. Right, let's go through where you can find people. Let's start with Elf. Where can we find you?
Hello, friends. You can find me at twitch.tv/distractedelf or on Twitter @distractedelf. I also run a couple games at the moment for Roll20. Well, actually, I mean, I'm sponsored by Roll20, but the Star Wars game is on my channel on Thursdays, Fridays, and we have a D&D game that we play on D&D's channel on Mondays. We're currently playing Candlekeep Mysteries. Yay!
All right, how about Grant?
Hey everybody, my name's Grant Ellis. You can find me on Twitter at WisePuppetGrant. I'm producing 10 shows for the wonderful world of RPGs right now. Some of them I'm in, and you can catch me here next Saturday running Knights Black Agents, The Hungry Dead, as well as playing in this wonderful Only War Last Ditch campaign.
All right, and Mathis.
Yeah, you can find me here every Saturday, obviously. You can also find me over at Mathis Games on Twitch or YouTube, as well as Chilluminati Podcast. I do that every week. You can check that out. In fact, we just announced that we'll be doing a Halloween live show in October. So if you're a Chilluminati fan, go check that out as well.
Right, and last but not least, Sheepy.
Hello, I'm Sheepdog, and I run the Wandering Inn. What is the Wandering Inn? I'm not telling you. Thank you.
You'll have to go find out. You can check about it in Wandering on Twitter. All right, that's all the things we're gonna. I should just double check. Yeah, I think we're all good. Okay, we're good to end. We're ending the stream. We're gonna go do an after show, and the next time you can catch Roll Fit is of course on Thursday with some more Dungeons and Dragons Ascension, and of course you can catch us next week. Right here on Sunday, same time, same channel, all that kind of thing. May the dice roll ever in your favor.
Bye, everybody.